At the Man Down Sports, as you can see from the thumbnail, we got a lot of stuff to get into. You can see from the rundown, we got a lot of stuff to get into. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this episode started. We're gonna just have full live call-ins like always. This is a full live episode. If you're watching this on a Wednesday night at 4:30 Pacific time or 7:30 Eastern time, then you're watching live. So when you see that number pop up on the screen, you're allowed to call in and voice your opinion on whatever the topic is. Well, sometimes we might get a little bit off topic, man, just depending, right? Um, um, as you come in, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, after you hit the like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the share button as well. I had technical difficulties earlier when I went on the Shannon Sharp live. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me through my mic okay now, because I know I had some issues earlier. I think I fixed them, but y'all let me know how y'all hear me in the comment section. Also, moderators, let me know if y'all in here as well. And I give y'all some time to get in here. Let me see. You see, Greg. Okay, well, thanks, Greg. Appreciate it, man. StreamYard had did something different with the settings, and I had to go in reset my permissions. For some reason, it just wasn't picking my stuff up. So I was speaking through the webcam, which is crazy, man. So, but now we gonna have a really good show. This episode is brought to you by EMT HVAC. If you in the California area, SoCal, Temecula, Marietta, or even all the way down to San Diego, if you in those areas, I promise you, man, I just dealt with this company. They sent the technician out. His name was Ernest, best technician. He's a veteran. As soon as the part got ordered for what we needed to do to get us back up and running, get my AC unit back up and running, he worked on his day off, got it done. The customer service was pressing, and then the prices. I mean, the prices go beyond competitive, right? So he was a real blessing. EMT HVAC was a real blessing. If I ever have anything that I need my HVAC looked at, or my AC unit or anything near the furnace or in the attic, I'm calling EMT hands down, right? And hopefully Ernest is the person that comes out, man. But hands down, I'm not calling nobody else, man. So if you are in the Southern California area, and like I said, that's Marietta, Temecula, all the way down to San Diego. If you're anywhere near that and you having HVAC issues, give them a call. EMT, give them a call as well. And you can still support even if you're not in the Southern California area. All right, right. If you're somewhere else and you can't get him to come look at your unit, you can also support by going to his YouTube page. It's a do-it-yourself page, so he just don't show you how to do some of these HVAC things. He's showing you everything. I mean, this guy's a jack of all trades, so if you go to Max Crafty on his YouTube page, you can see if it's about 700 subscribers. If we can go in and get him a sub right now and help him get up to 1,000, that'll help him out a whole lot. That's how you can support EMT HVAC by not actually using his services for your HVAC, right? So do us a favor, man. Go ahead and give Max Crafty a sub over there. And if you're in Southern California, once again, man, give him a call if you need any HVAC work done. And once again, that's EMT HVAC out here in Southern California. And then he gave me this nice hat too, so I'm gonna be rocking this. All right, so where are we at? Yes, sir. Greg Anderson here. Hey, man, we ready to go, man. Did I watch the link in the N1 Dunker? Yeah, man. I appreciate that, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah. You reminded me. I had seen it before, but I just didn't. I couldn't remember who it was that did it, man. So I appreciate that link for sure. Posh King in the house. Greg Anderson in the house. Second time mentioning to catch the live. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Chris. You look new here. That name seemed new. That don't seem quite familiar, man. So yeah, you caught 2 lives a day. Apologize for the first live not having the best sound. Sports T in the house, man. Shout out to Sports T, man. Give her a sub over there. That's Dominique's page. For those of you that don't know and haven't checked it out, go ahead and head over there and check out Sports T. And all of everyone that's on our panel and that you see on Man Down Full Panel Friday, all their links to their separate channels is in the description box, so y'all can go and support them as well. That's my Michelle. Hey, somebody said that was Michelle Beadle. So can somebody go and ask Michelle Beadle where she was at last night? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, man. Let's get started, man. So this is kind of like a late response to the Anthony Edwards stuff, right? But you know, the whole Anthony Edwards stuff started a whole storm, and it provoked a lot of responses from some of the old regime of the NBA. You know, Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins, Rasheed Wallace. You know, all these guys. They had their piece to say. What I like about what Bonzi Wells said is it was true and informative, and it put a lot of things in perspective. But at the same time, he didn't come down on Anthony Edwards very hard. Rasheed Wallace kind of did. I'm not going to play that part. I just want to play what Bonzi said because I think it starts a conversation that that is good to have. Because well, I just play it for you and then we'll talk about it after that.
Like, come on, man. MJ was MJ. There's just like if you think about the 80s.
Nope, that ain't it. There we go. All right.
Tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then. And referring to Michael Jordan, he said he was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, "Oh my God!" But now everybody has skill. End quote. That's from the Ant-Man. Magic responded, but what's you all's response to Anthony Edwards' quote? You said you just seen him, and now he talking crazy, man. What's this about?
Man, that's tough. You know, I like Ant-Man. I really do like Ant-Man. He's up next. He's going to be the face of the league for many years moving forward. But I just don't think that he understands that the game that these young boys got are just a reflection of the game that we had naturally that they've been taught. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these people are athletic and all that stuff, but these skill set stuff, even if they really was keeping it real with their trainers, these trainers are watching film from our era and the stuff that we did, and they're just breaking it down into workouts. You know what I mean? They even naming cuts after people from our era, and they naming moves after people from our era.
Is that a bad thing, though? Like to watch these guys and try to emulate that?
No, I'm just saying, but to say they're not skilled when all your skills are coming from our era is tough. You know what I mean? But I just think Ant-Man, maybe they might have misquoted him. Maybe he felt that type of way, but I think he got to really, truly understand the history of the game and understand the people that came before us because the game was totally different when we played.
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. And because he mentioned a couple of things, he was like, it's kind of hard to say that they didn't have skill back then, where what we're seeing on the court right now for the NBA is just what they took from the era before them and built upon that. Like, and he mentioned, you know, like some of these cuts that were made famous are named after people, like the Iverson cut, which you see a lot of times that when you watch the Indiana Fever play in the WNBA, Kelsey Mitchell uses that Iverson cut, and that's a cut where you come from the opposite end of the wing and you cut all the way across the not quite at the top of the key, but maybe free throw line. You come right across there, and there's either one or two screens right there for you to get all the way to the other end of the wing, and then that's what a pass get passed to you from the point guard, right? And that Iverson cut, he did it a lot to get open, and it was a big deal, right? But we still see that in today's game, and we call it the Iverson cut, right? It's a lot of things that that has been done. Like a lot of teams have a variation of the triangle in it. Like Michael Jordan, what he did in the post, his footwork and his reverse pivots and how he did things. And you see Kobe build upon that, and then from Kobe you see Kawhi using it, KD using it, and even small guards like Kyrie Irving using it, right? Kyrie Irving also used the Iverson cut, right? So it's so many different things that, like the Smitty, Steve Smith, that Smitty move that he does, that I love the Smitty. That's something that they still using now, right? The sham guide, that's 90s. Point guards are doing a sham guide and implementing it. So it's kind of crazy to say they didn't have skill and Mike was the only one that was skilled when we're using so much of what they're doing. Like the way Steph moves without the ball, that's Reggie Miller. He got that from Reggie, watching Reggie. right? Everything you see Joel Embiid and Jokic doing the low post, that's Hakeem Olajuwon, right? So it's weird that he would say that, and he really does not know. He really does not know his history, for that matter.
You know what I'm saying? The game was physical. Like this game now, don't get me wrong, these guys are skilled, but in our era, you wasn't able to show your full bag. You know what I mean? Like I know my guy because because it's different, because you have superstars, you have the stars of the team, and then you have everybody filling the role, kind of like it is now. But now everybody can shoot threes, everybody can get into their bag, everybody can do all these cone moves that they don't learn to get to their shot, basically to a jump shot or get to these different pretty moves. Like we were from an era where we was taught to make the game look easy. You know what I mean? Like if you got to give a guy 3 or 4 or 5 dribbles to get your shot off, man, he don't.
You probably pass it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like no. If you can get by me and if you can score on him in one dribble, or you can make it look like it's nothing, that's the era we're from. They want style points and want creative points where it's still a 2-point shot. It's still a 3-point shot, but they want it to look sweet, which I get it. That's their era, but we're not from that era. You got to think dudes was averaging 30 when you're getting clotheslined out there. Dudes, holding you, fouling you, doing whatever they can to stop you. And they know you move, all this stuff. You still getting it off. Space and everything. It's all clogged up everywhere, and dudes still finding a way through that stuff. Now everything is spaced out. Lanes are open. You can't touch people. You can get to the free throw line. So I think AAU just got to understand, man, there's dudes that really done this stuff, and where this game is evolving to now is from our era and people that came before us as well. The Magic Johnson, the people, that's where we got it from. So it just kind of it's like that. So I it's tough to hear him say that, but what these big wigs are saying and letting him know, like, bro, this stuff is deep. Don't got to mind what you're saying a little bit.
Right. So that was actually my favorite, response to it. More than everybody. I enjoyed everybody's response to it, but that was delivered in a way that I think Ant-Man could probably, digest it a little bit better and really say, "Ah, man, yeah, I'm tripping." And I think how Dominique Wilkins did it as well was cool too. But like Garnett and Rashid, they went a little bit off far right a little bit, but all of it was necessary. And what he was saying, just to add on to the part about him naming all the skills that we have stolen from the era before us and we're using now. He also said you got to understand how hard it was to do what you had to do. It was a lot of things that was preventing them from showing their whole bag. And he named 3 things. He said the first thing is the way things was orchestrated back then. You had your star player who was gonna get most of your shots, and you had a co-star. Your co-star wasn't always a scorer, right? So in the Utah Jazz offense, Karl Malone was the guy that's supposed to get their 30, their 25 to 30 points a game. He's got to get it. The co-star was John Stockton. His job was not to get another 20 to 30 points. His job was to make sure Karl Malone got his 30, make sure the offense ran, and to make sure that the other but the other role players got involved in the offense. That was a role of a point guard. When you look at when Sean Kemp was the go-to guy for the Supersonics, the same thing, Gary Payton. I'm going to run the offense as a real point guard, and I'm going to play lockdown defense, and I'm going to make sure the others get the ball. That's the role of a point guard. Jason Kidd, make sure others get the ball when he was playing with Dirk. Steve Nash, when he played with Dirk, make sure the others get the ball and Dirk get his points, right? Rondo, same thing. Make sure Paul Pierce and Garnett get their points. I'm going to handle the ball. So there was roles. Rondo couldn't come out there and show you how much he had in his bag. He didn't go out there and get 30 shots a game. Stockton didn't get 30 shots a game. Kidd didn't get 30 shots a game, right? So it was different back then. But now you get a team where, listen, we all just go shoot and hoop and get 5 to 6 threes up a game, and we just go ISO it, and it's just a free fall. And then you can get a guy like LeBron and Kyrie getting 30, 40 points in the daggone finals game. You never seen Scottie Pippen drop 40 points side by side with Michael Jordan in the playoff game. Just didn't happen. Scottie Pippen ran the offense, ran that triangle, played defense, and he got his 15, 16, 17 points, in the flow of the offense. He wasn't going to go get his. The only person going to go get his is MJ. So you see MJ's bag, but it's another bag that other people had that they just didn't show that often. You just couldn't see. Everybody just wasn't out there just showing their bag off, right? So that's the one thing he said. It was coached different. The other thing he said is that the opposition, as far as the environment around them, the rules, how the game was played on the inside, outside, how physical it was. Like you couldn't just come down and get a Tim Hardaway crossover every single time. You just couldn't do it. It was too much hand checking, too much body contact. It was crazy. And the fact is, if a point guard held the ball too long in their era, it's liable that he'll turn it over. So as soon as they get the ball up court, they're getting it to the wing because of, you get it to the wing guy. Now he's got a live dribble, or not a live dribble. He's got the ball and he's still got the option to triple threat, do all that stuff while he still got the dribble. Now, when you coming up dribbling ball with a live dribble and they give you that pressure, it ain't like you can take off on them and go to the hole. You won't even get the offense started, right? So getting the ball to the wing and then having that post player come down there and try to ask for it in the low post and you get it to him, you're getting it to bigger guys that probably can withstand a little bit more contact versus your smaller point guard bringing it up Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, Rod Strickland, Mark Price, these guys, Mookie Blaylock, these guys bringing it up. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this thing. Right. So it was a lot of things that was preventing them from showing their bag, but they had a bag. They just wasn't showing it. Now this era, you just show your bag. There's another thing I want to get into before I open the phone lines up and get into these comments is the myth that the athletes are better in today's game, because I keep hearing people, oh man, the speed is so much better and you can't even play defense no more. Like even if you wanted to hand check, you can't hand check because they're so fast. Evolution don't work like that. We don't have faster humans. Like if we're talking about speed, the fastest people on earth run track, right? And they run at the Olympic level. So you can look no further than the Olympics and look at the time and you're like, man, it's people is getting the same times, really. I mean, you get the occasional Usain Bolt, but I mean, if you go back to Jesse Owens and you go back to not Toby Bailey, but Bailey, I forgot his first name. You go to some of these guys and you look at those times, it's not too much different, right? So what's changing? And this is the interesting thing. If you go all the way back to Jesse Owens, who ran a 10-3 at the Olympics, and then you look at the conditions he had to run in, dirt track, whack shoes, right? No starting blocks, all of these things, and you run a 10-3, it looks like the better athlete was in the yesteryears. And it looked like our athletes are getting weaker, but everything around them is getting better. Better performance enhancing drugs, better conditions, better medicine, better sports science, better docs. Everything becomes better equipment, all these things. So if you got all of these things to your advantage and you're running the same times as a guy who had a harder situation, who was the better athlete? Which I take it right back to basketball. It's still 48 minutes in the game, still 10-foot rims, still one basketball, still 5-man on the court on both sides, right? If 30 points was a big deal in the 90s, and this guy's getting 30 points now, but the conditions are different, we're actually creating an environment where offense is easier with less defense, less physicality, right? And you still getting the same 30 MJ was getting with more physicality, a defense-oriented league, not a league that's saying we want to see more offense, spread the floor. You got to score inside of a phone booth because you got 2 men packing the paint, not 2 men, but 4 men, because you got 2 power forward and center, and the guys that's guarding him. So there's 4 guys in the paint almost at all times, right? So you got the clogged paint, you got physical defense. You're trying to score inside of the phone booth. 1 dribble pull up, 2 dribble pull up. Too much dribbling, you dribbling into a defender. So the harder era was before, the tougher conditions, the tougher defense, all of that stuff goes against the 90s and early 2000s. They're getting 30 and you're getting 30 in a cake era, and you think your 30 is better than my 30. It doesn't work like that. Let me show you this.
If these two men faced each other today, who would come out on top?
Who's going to win it? It's very close.
These are the kind of high-tech runners that Andre DeGrasse usually wears. But to make it a fair race, we're making him replicas of Jesse Owens' shoes.
He's a Canadian track star.
Look at those. Yeah, those are nice.
So, how does it feel?
Feels good.
Instead of a modern synthetic surface, the track will be hard-packed dirt, like the one in the
Hard-packed
1936 Olympics.
Yeah. So there's your 100 meter straight. You can just see the finishing line down there. Now, he didn't have any starting blocks. So
What y'all think go
put your
happen?
fingers down on the line and put your feet where they would go. And then we'll create some holes there. And then that in there.
Yeah, that's good.
The time for Andre to beat is 10.3 seconds.
He look good, don't he? He killing it. He killing it.
So with my hand timing, we've got just dead on 11 seconds. How do you feel?
I don't think I've ever felt so tired running 100 meters right now. So,
But it does kind of show that the tracks, the shoes, does make a bit of a difference. 'Cause
yeah,
you said it's
I think it makes a really, really big difference. It was tough. I think this will show a lot. This will show that Jesse Owens has a lot of strength and power.
wow.
The strength and power
Look at
to
Jesse
win
Owens, bro.
this equalizer challenge.
You can't tell me Jesse Owens. You can't tell me he wasn't a better athlete than what we just seen. And that's an Olympic sprinter, right? So I think that's interesting, man. He said I've never been this tired running 100 meters before. That dirt that he was running in, that packed sand, wore him out. He was running in shoes that he might as well have been barefoot. I mean, he probably, them shoes probably feel like wood on his feet. This is what Jesse Owens was running against. This is unreal, right? So for them to say, and this dude from Canada, he ran it in 11 seconds. He probably wouldn't even qualify with that. But when he's got everything at his advantage, he's got these, very great shoes and spikes that they created. They got these rubber tracks. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time, because I grew up in a neighborhood where we had rec centers, and all the rec centers we had had that floor. I don't even know what kind of floor it was. That white what do they call it? I don't know what type of floor it was. Hard floor, right? We didn't have wood, the hardwood. We didn't have wood floors, right? That floor was hard, right? And I remember the first time I played in the tournament at North Carolina A&T. They had a tournament there, and they used to let us play in the old gym, but one day we had a lot of games going on, so they let us go in the brand new gym with the great breakaway rims and that wood floor that you can take up, for other events, that floor. But that wood was so bouncy. Now, mind you, I always could jump and I always could get up there and grab the rim, but it was something about trying to grip that ball and to do the dunks that I was trying to do. I would miss them a lot, right? I wasn't, this was ninth grade, so I wasn't jumping high enough where I could just dunk it without missing it every single time. You know what I mean? So sometimes I make it, sometimes I won't. The first time I played in that gym with that wood floor, it felt like I was jumping off of springs. That floor is something different, right? So in doing warm-ups, I'm jumping. You can't dunk during warm-ups, right? But I'm jumping, and my arm is probably, if this is the rim, my arm was like here, and I'm throwing it in during the warm-ups, all because of that floor. So it's a lot of things that make a huge difference, and people don't know it. So you got these fabulous floors, and like everything's just engineered perfectly for maximum everything. versus the people that was playing in yesteryears had tougher conditions, every way you can think of it. I mean, even the shoes they was playing in was tougher. I mean, so you got to think about it. I mean, some of them shoes just flat-footed and just crazy. Like, we don't have better athletes. We don't. We've had players in the 90s running and jumping as high and fast as Russell Westbrook, but guess what? You had to have way more than that to play in the 90s, or you was going to be on the bench. I remember Robert Pack playing for Denver Nuggets. He was a bench point guard. He's not as tall as Russell, but just as fast and jump just as high. Robert Pack would dunk on you easily. But Robert Pack, if you think, what else did Robert Pack have to his game? You can't really think what else he had to his game, right? That's why he was on the bench, and that's why a person like Brian Stiff or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf started over him, because they could actually run offense. They could actually shoot. Robert Pack was just an athlete that can run and jump and dunk. So, yeah, we had those athletes, but we didn't showcase those athletes because the game needed you to have a higher level of skill to play in the era where the lane is clogged and we're hand checking you all the way up the floor. And that's allowed. You got to be different. Terrell Brandon was a great athlete. He had to back up Mark Price. Mark Price was a better point guard than him. Mark Price was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Ron Harper, Gerald Wilkins, great athletes. Gerald Wilkins was a great athlete. I mean, his last name is Wilkins. He's Dominique's brother. He was a great athlete. He didn't have the game that Dominique had, though. So he was on the bench behind Craig Elo. Like, everybody talk about how Craig Elo got the shot hit on him by Jordan. But do you understand the athletes they had on that Cavs team? They had Larry Nance Jr., not Larry Nance Jr., that's the son, Larry Nance Sr. They had Ron Harper. They had Gerald Wilkins. Terrell Brandon was somewhere on the bench at the end of the bench. I mean, you can just name Hot Rod Williams. Like, these dudes was athletes, but they was getting outshouted by players that was athletes and skilled. Michael Jordan was a super athlete, and he was skilled. You just can't just be an athlete and then all of a sudden be an all-star. That's you could do that in this era. You could be fast and jump high in this era and be an all-star, because this era is just about space and pace, open everything up, and you can just run full speed. Giannis, for God's sake, I do not respect any basketball player that needs to run 100 miles per hour to get a good shot off. What if Giannis had to play in that other league like the 90s and he can't run full speed? He can't get a running start. Like, you can literally get a running start on every last one of your shot attempts in this era. We didn't allow running starts back then. You getting defended all the way up the floor. But Giannis needs a running start, and he was considered the best player in the league at one point. Not by me, but by the media. A guy who needs a running start to get a shot off is the best in the league. If he's not running full speed, it's over. And LeBron's the same way. He's a little bit better than Giannis with that, but LeBron's most of his career, I need a running start to get a shot off or get a high percentage shot. I need a running start. Like, make that make sense. Receivers need a running start to get what they need to get. But this is basketball. Why do you need a running start? Think about everybody else who is very good and very skilled. Does Jokic need a running start to get a good shot? Does Embiid need a running start? Does Kobe? Does Michael? Does Kawhi? Does Paul George? Does Kyrie? Does Steph Curry? Does Clay? Do anybody need a running start to be running full speed as fast as you can run in life? You running from the cops. You got to do that every time you get the ball to get a high percentage shot. Run full speed. Westbrook, Giannis, LeBron. Who else? They need a running start. As soon as you see that, when the NBA season start, I want y'all to watch the games, and I want y'all to see when these guys I named, Russ, LeBron, Giannis, it's really 3 or 4 guys that do that, and just watch them. How is he going to get this shot off? Oh, well, first of all, you got to give him the ball at the top of the key. You got to spread the floor. Nobody can be in the paint, and then you got to come in, set a screen for him so he can get that first defender off of him and then take off running full speed. So let me get this screen and let me run full speed. That's the only way I can start my offense. I can only start my offense with a head full of steam. And that's why I have to have the ball every fast break. Because other than that, I'm useless. Right? So phone lines are open. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I mean, I could be off, man. So let me know how y'all feel about athletes in this generation versus the previous era, and what Bonzi Wells said about, how the bad existed. You just wasn't go see it because we wasn't pulling it out every time we got the ball. We wasn't pulling our bag out. Right. So and then even the Jesse Owens. Y'all gonna let me know what y'all think about that. Cause I thought that was dope. The Jesse Owens, man. They say it's America's style of play, which is why the latest version of the Dream Team couldn't dominate. Yeah. When was 4 men in the paint? Young, you joking, right? When was 4 men in the paint? All right, so how many was in the paint, Young? You tell me. How many was in the paint, man? I ain't seen no new moves besides the ones with extra steps. Yeah, I mean the ones that the travels is the only thing I seen that was new. The travels. Kenyans run barefoot and win most of the marathons. If you average 30 for your career, your average would be 30 throughout. He's not going to end with 30 the way he's trending. Still a great career. Just saying he didn't average 30. Interesting. Rubber over concrete, polished concrete. Man, what's the name of that floor, y'all? It wasn't marble, but it was all. It gave you the, man. What did they call it? It wasn't canvas. I don't know what the heck they call that floor. The floor that be at the rec centers. I think most of the middle schools had it back in the day too. They probably all found some money and changed it out by now. But I think everybody might have wood. But it wasn't quite cement, but it felt like that. It was slippery though. And you had to mop that thing. You had to mop that thing almost and a dust mop and then a wet mop almost every game. Caller from San Fran, what's up?
Hey Mel, it's Dominique. How's it going?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
Man, I just think that today's game is damn near like rugby. That's what we're watching. Giannis, LeBron, they can run over defenders in the paint. We didn't really see those kinds of things back then. We're not really watching the best brand of basketball. So it's really interesting that there's this war between these eras when, nobody played against each other. And I just wish that there was more respect for the people that played during their time. You never played against them. Just like, say something positive and move on. But those things were probably like not even trained. And you would think that they would be, right? You would think that these players would be trained on what to say, what not to say, given that they're making money in college now. They're making money in college. They're coming into the league and they're just, I don't really understand why it's so bad. But those are my thoughts. I just don't think this is basketball all the time that we're watching.
I agree with that. And then you made a good point, because I know when rookies come in, they get mid-year training. I know they do that for the NBA. But I think the way that we keep hearing people speak about the generations before them, I really think they need to take it a step further than just media training, and they need a history lesson. Like the same way when we get, indoctrinated in schools and they teach us about history and what happened and all this stuff. They got to do that for these NBA players, man, because it's embarrassing for you to come up here and just crap on everybody that set everything up for you to be doing what you're doing right now and be so uneducated on it to think that nobody had skill except one player. That don't even make sense.
And it sounds so ungrateful though, Mel, too, because then they turn around and say things like, yeah, they're poor. Like, what kind of answer is that? This person's a fireman and a plumber. Those are honorable jobs. You know what I mean? There's a sense of like a great sense of privilege and like just total disrespect for the opportunity that you've been given.
Yeah.
You know, you have this great opportunity, and this is a chance for you to bring people together in the sport, and you're dividing instead. These kinds of things just create division, in my opinion. Nothing positive comes out of it.
Yeah, and for the future, I mean, this can't be a good thing for the future. Like, this has got to be the beginning of your league eroding.
The end.
Yeah, your like,
the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, because once you tear that bridge down that came before you, I mean, how can you build on it? That's supposed to be your foundation, and you letting players now tear it down. You can't have that.
Seriously, if anybody's ever seen The Sopranos, in the very first scene of the show, Tony says to the therapist, Dr. Melfi, he says, you know, I feel like I came in at the end when things are not good anymore. You know, when you start in at the ground floor of something and it's so great and you like really want to be a part of it, and there's like a whole fraternity surrounding it, that is completely disappearing from the NBA right now.
Jeez.
We're watching it in front of our eyes disappear. There's no camaraderie even between the people who play now.
Jeez.
It's not good. So, you know, it sucks, but we'll get through it. Maybe the future is pickleball. So,
it's gonna be
a really great show, Mel. Really great show. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks for calling.
All righty, bye-bye.
Nah, she's right. I mean, it might not end up being pickleball, but it might. I thought it was gonna be WNBA or women's college. I thought it was gonna be women's hoops, but it looked like they're gonna destroy that as well, because they're trying to teach them the same things, and we'll get into that in our next topic. They're trying to teach them the same things that destroyed the NBA. They're trying to teach them to do those same tactics, and you know, it's just not gonna it's not gonna fare well, man. I mean, what the WNBA was showing us was a pure brand of basketball, and now they want something different, and more less authentic. Let me get this comment out the way. The phone lines are still open. I'll take one more phone call before I move. This league is barely an N1 tournament. I'm trying to catch up on these comments, y'all. Oh, shoot. Somebody sent the super chat and I didn't even get to it. Adidas Zero. Tell me what Ant can do if the lanes are closed or his shot not falling. I'll tell you absolutely nothing. Might be right. I mean, but he got what he needs in this toolbox to be able to develop it. And I've seen some of it as well. But you're right. If the shot ain't falling, I don't know what he's going to go to. And for there's no teams that has an offense to help a player out, because everybody's doing 5-man out or ISO ball or just throw it in the post to someone. If you got one of those guys, I think Minnesota got one of those guys in Carl Anthony, Jokic in Denver, Embiid in Philly. But other than that, there's nobody that you can throw it in the post and trust. AD, but he's playing with the ultimate I need the floor spread guy and LeBron, and we just can't even see AD dominating the post longer than 4 possessions. You know what I mean? So it's just unfortunate, man. All right, so we'll move to the next topic. Watch him against the Mavericks. That's exactly what Ant would do. We'll move to the next topic. Y'all quiet on the phone lines today, but that's okay. That means I get to end it early. I thought Young or World Breaker was gonna call, but they might not have the kahunas. I don't know. All right, and another thing I wanted to get into was Cheryl Miller, and she went on Cam and Mace platform. Went to their YouTube channel, but she was on Mark Jackson's podcast with his son. And you know, they had a lot of conversation, and you know, of course, they talked about her and Reggie, and they talked about her being the GOAT and her scoring 105 points in college and all of these things. And but what I really wanted to get into was what she said about the All-Star game for the WNBA. Of course, she coached the All-Star game. And she coached the All-Stars versus the Team USA. And of course, those All-Stars had Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on it. And she spoke about both of them. And I kind of want to play what she said about both of them and give my thoughts on what she said, and then get y'all thoughts. But this is what Cheryl Miller said.
And that kid went nuts in the second half. Went absolutely nuts. Couple timeouts with Caitlin. I said, you guys, I don't care how you feel about her. You want to score? Run, and keep your head on the swivel. Because I knew that kid could pass. I didn't know she was that good. I was curious to see how she would be around, great players, and she showed up and showed out. And Angel Reese, guys, I don't know how she does it. She doesn't jump out the gym. She's not like your 6'6", 6'5", which gives her a height advantage, a length advantage. So it has to be here. It has to be here, because I've never seen someone offensively rebound better than her. And she reminds me of that mentality of Dennis Rodman. Anything around the rim, loose around there, she gonna find a way. And they used to call it, he has a nose for the ball. No, it's just something in them that every loose ball, they gonna find a way. Runs the floor, great hands, understanding. Those two being on the floor shattered whatever narrative people were trying to push. Ain't no animosity. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but these guys, all they want to do is win. And seeing them interact off the court and shoot around and everything else, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, guys. And it was such a blessing to be a part of it.
So I like the way she handled it, because toward the end, she said there's no animosity. But when I see how they interact with each other off the floor, how they play with each other on the floor, how they interact with each other in the locker room, she said there's no animosity between those two. They're athletes, they're competitors. They compete, but they leave it on the floor, right? So I like that she said that, but I also like that she kind of put to bed this whole false narrative, which I got a video on, and I've already said it, because the key knock on Angel Reese is that, number one, all her rebounds are off of her misses, so it's not impressive. Well, we can actually see her rebounding her opponent's misses when she, as a defensive rebound, and we can see other offensive rebounds that she's getting off her teammates' misses. And now, if she goes, it's a very physical game in the paint in the WNBA. It's like it used to be in the 90s for the NBA. So when she goes down low, she's getting contact on every shot attempt. There's no clean shot attempts, right? So she's getting contact. So if her learning curve is, you need to be able to, well, she can play through that contact and she can handle it. It ain't like she falling to the ground, but you need to be able to finish through that contact. Sometimes she can, sometimes she can't, right? And sometimes she seek the contact out a little bit too much. It's almost like I need to bump you before I even get this shot off, and sometimes you can just get the shot out over someone. I don't understand why she's always trying to go through people and then finish, right? So, but as far as her getting all that contact, all her contacts are contested. All her layups are contested and with body contact, so yeah, if you want to critique her and say, look, that's something that you need to bring next season and show us that you upgraded in the era, great, right? I think every rookie has something that they're going to have to get in the lab and correct this summer, right? That's great. But if you're trying to tell me that because you're missing shots in the paint and then you get your rebound after you missed a shot, that either one, that rebound isn't impressive, or two, you're padding your stats because you missed that shot on purpose, you got to be some type of you got to be some type of stupid if that's your argument, right? You got to be saying, and for the most part, I don't meet a lot of stupid people. So if you're saying that, you either think I'm dumb, right? Or you're just saying that because your dislike for this player is so bad that you would say anything to discredit her, right? And either way, if you're using any of those tactics or that logic, I'd rather not deal with you, right? So But she mentioned the rebound, and she said, first and foremost, I haven't met anybody, and she's played with a lot of greats, and she's seen a lot of greats. For her to say that she hasn't seen anyone, this is arguably the GOAT of women's basketball. Whether you want to argue if it was Cheryl, whether you want to argue it was Cynthia Cooper or Diana Taurasi or Cheryl Swoops, or Lisa Leslie or Candace Parker, but the person who got the biggest and best argument is going to be Cheryl Miller. So if she's saying it, and you can hear how she talks, she don't got a lot of cap in her rap. So if she's saying it, this is one of the greatest rebounds I ever seen. I think a lot of people got to kind of respect that. And I think it's time to put to bed the noise about her rebounds and is impressive, right? Then we go to the part, all right, so if we put that to bed, can we discredit her as far as, her Rookie of the Year hopes, which I think everyone would be voting for Caitlin Clark at this moment, being that her team is such on a great win streak, and the Sky had took that losing streak. So for me, the team with the most wins, whatever you did that produced the most wins, is going to have my vote. So my vote is with Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year. But when it was close, and a lot of people think it was never close, but for me, when their records was equal and they both was fighting for that number 8 seed, it was close to me. What some people would say is that rebounds isn't as impressive as points. And I agree 100%, because you gotta score points to win. So I value points over every other statistic. For me, it's points, it's defense, and then everything else is just a result of it, right? Because points is the stat that we actually care about. And sometimes assists, I mean, the name tells it all. I'm assisting you in scoring. You get what I'm saying? Like if I assist you into doing a backflip by you putting your foot in my hand and I throwing, or put it this way, I don't know if you ever seen the kids where one would run and jump, and then we would push them up by their waist, like they'll jump toward us in front of us, and we push them up by their waist and they dunk. That's called an assist. I helped you do that. Would you then turn around and give the person who pushed you up the most credit for the dunk? You get what I'm saying? It's an assist. I'm assisting you, right? If I was lifting weights and I'm maxing out and I get to my max and I'm on my last rep and I'm trying to get it up, and then you kind of with your fingertips help me get it up and rack it, you're not going to turn around and be like, oh, I lifted 245, because you assisted me in lifting it. I'm the one up here struggling. All you did was put your fingertips up to give me a little assist, right? So when did assist become something that we regarded as much as points, right? So assisting is not the same as points. You help someone score. The person who scored a point is the person who has the skill to put the ball in the hole. If you pass it to me for a 3-point shot, it's up to me whether I get 3 points or you get an assist. If I don't make that shot, you don't get an assist. So we're giving assists a lot of credit because of people like Magic and people like Stockton and J Kidd, because they made it such a thing. But assists don't trump points. I'm sorry. If this was spades, points would be the big joker, right? Defense would be the little joker. Those are the two most important things, right? So a point, you can't get an assist without a point or without a made basket, and you can't get a rebound without a missed shot. And what makes you miss shots? Defense. So defense is the thing that is done that leads to rebounds, and offense is the thing that's done to lead to assists. So in my estimation, assists and rebounds are on the same level, and points and defense is on the same level. Caitlin Clark is a queen at scoring points. Angel Reese is a queen at defense. Caitlin Clark is a queen at assists. Angel Reese is a queen at rebounds, right? So they both do two great things that contribute to winning, and they both do things that's on the joker level, but one is the big joker. So the edge goes to Caitlyn since she's the scorer. But then when you flip it and you be like, okay, so if Caitlyn's the scorer and Angel is the defender, what are they doing on the other side? What is Angel doing on the scoring end? She's scoring 14 points. Well, if Angel is scoring 14 points and that's not her primary thing, but scoring is Caitlyn's primary thing and she's scoring 18, it's kind of close. All right, so what is Caitlyn doing on defense versus what Angel's doing on defense? Well, Angel is leading her defense. Caitlyn's a liability on defense. And like I've always said, what's the worst ability in basketball? Because some people say the best ability is availability. But on the turn side, the worst ability is a liability. And Caitlin Clark has been a liability on defense for most of the season, right? So that's why it was even for me. You had one great on defense, one great on offense, but the other one was also great on offense, and the other one was very poor on defense, right? The assists and the rebounds, they cancel each other out. It's the same thing. One is just something that defense, like you got to play defense to get a rebound, and you have to score. Someone has to score for you to get an assist. That's just how I'm looking at it, right? So I like the fact that Cheryl Miller pointed that out. I like the fact that she pointed out from what she's saying at the All-Star break, there's no feud between them two. Like, it's good blood between them. And I think it's really time for people to really, like, stop thinking that you owe Angel or Caitlyn a favor by fighting whoever's rooting for them. If there's Caitlyn fans or Angel fans, it's not a good thing that you look at the freaking social media and they're in there throwing racial slurs and it's all types of it's channels dedicated to trying to clown Angel Reese. And I don't understand them. Like you made a channel to clown Angel Reese. Even the pro Caitlin Clark channels, they don't just sing the praises of Caitlin Clark. They clown Angel Reese for everything she did. Her injury is even fake to them. They say her injury is fake and selfish. She tweeted out when she got injured, and they said that was selfish because she kept saying me. Well, she was the only one that got hurt. Who else she gonna talk about? It's insane, man. It's insane, right? Let me get some of these comments. She puts effort in those rebounds, needs to work on her shot and touch, though. I hope she does. And look, I think her shot and touch, I like her. I mean, the way she free. I'm all right. So this is what I see from Angel Reese. And a lot of people don't even know, because I was watching one channel and they was talking crap about her, and they're not basketball guys, right? So I don't even know why they was interested in this topic. But they didn't even know Angel Reese was left-handed. They had no clue. Right. So I'm like, man, you must really be lost. So she's left-handed, but you can tell by how she shoots with her right hand. She's really ambidextrous. So if you see her a lot of times, whatever side of the ball she's on or whatever side of the rim she's on, that's the hand she's going to use. It don't matter what shot it is. And she uses her right hand just as much as she uses her left. Like, she uses them both. Right. So she's scoring on hand, off hand, and her dominant hand, right? And then she shoots her jump shots, her threes, and her free throws left-handed. Now, the issue with people who are kind of ambidextrous, because my son is ambidextrous, he shoots left-handed, he writes with his right hand, he throws the football with his right hand, he throws the baseball with his right hand, he kicks the soccer ball with his right foot. So he does a lot of things right-handed, but he shoots left-handed, right? When I was first teaching him how to shoot, the fact that his right hand was really his dominant hand, but he couldn't shoot with it, but he could shoot with his left hand. It was hard when he was trying to make sure that his shot was just one hand and then the guy hand, and he was getting both of them involved in his shot. It took a lot of training for him to be able to shoot it the way you're supposed to shoot it, and the other hand wasn't involved too much because he's so used to using his dominant hand with everything. Why not use it with the shot? So if you watch Angel Reese, you can see when she shoot, sometimes her hands cross, or it's like you see sometimes both of them it's very weird. And I'm like, oh man, she's struggling because she can really shoot with both hands. I can tell she can shoot with both. I mean, she's really got to put a lot of work in to make sure, all right, I'm left-handed. This is how, she's really got to do that. It's a lot. So what I'm saying, go back and look and watch her play and watch some of her jump shots and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I could be wrong, but that's just my thoughts on what I think is going on. But as far as everything down low, I already explained that. Like, it's a lot of contact, it's physical down there, right? So, maybe if she had media members that was saying that all the contact she got in the paint was racism and jealousy, and they need to change the rules so she can get a shot off in the paint. Maybe her percentages will go up, but she don't have the cavalry going to bat for her like that. We're all just talking sprunts like you, Young. No one is crying, just opinions about what we see. Your opinion is welcome to. Please, Angel, don't Ben Simmons out on us. I guess that was funny. Rodman rebounding is not the same as Angel Reese. Yeah, it's not the same. She didn't say her rebounding was the same as Angel Reese. Rodman's rebounds was the same as Angel Reese. What Cheryl Miller said is that she reminds me of Rodman as far as the fact that she wanted every loose ball and every rebound. Yeah, I just didn't want to guard it. Yeah, I mean, because it's gonna be a long day at work. It's gonna be a long day at work, man. All right, let's get into this one. And then when she jumped up and cheered when Caitlin Clark got knocked to the ground, and then the super hard foul to Caitlin Clark's head by Reese, it don't look great. Who cares? All right, that's my thing. Like, who cares? Like, what does that mean? So it's a hard foul. She got knocked down, and what? Now, if no one else in the history of basketball ever had a hard foul that ever got knocked down, you might have a point. But hard fouls and knockdowns are part of the game. And if we're hard fouling a player, first of all, if we're playing a player that's highly skilled, who's a finesse player, who we think that our contact, our physicality, and our intimidation is going to get in that person's head, he or she, whoever it is, if it's going to work, we're going to do it because we're in the business of winning ball games. They want to win. How can you stop Caitlin Clark? Well, if you get physical with her, you can take her out of the game mentally. If you get physical with her, you can turn her over. If you get physical with her, you can fluster her feathers. But if that's part of what we think we can do to affect her, why can't we do it? And the reason why we can't do it is because if we do it, then every one of her fans and media are going to say we're doing it because we're jealous. Why they just can't be doing it because they want to win? That's part of the game. We've been physical with every player that came in the league. She's not different. You got to get out your feelings, man. Just because you see her get knocked down don't mean you got to be offended. She's not even offended. She got knocked down. Reese clapped about it and smiled about it. Yeah, because we getting in her head. Great. She's a grown woman. She drove herself to the arena and she tied both her shoes and she can eat chicken and pork chop without getting choked. She don't need you babysitting her. Let her go out and play that grown woman game for all that money she's making. Let her play and let her peers compete against her. And then you sit back and watch. You can't baby her. You can't baby her. It's just not point. CC has her team playing amazing team ball. She's stirring the drink. Yeah, I agree. It's just not points for Caitlin Clark. She got her team playing amazing basketball. I agree 100%. All right. I'm not gonna open the phone lines up because this next topic is wow, that's interesting about your son shooting the basketball with his left hand, but most everything else was right. Yeah, I don't know how it happened. And the crazy thing about it is, the first sport he played was soccer. They let him play soccer at 4. So the first sport he played at was soccer. And then at 6, they let him play basketball. Right. So I knew he was right-footed. And I knew he wrote with his right hand. And I knew he was right-footed. So I thought everything was cool. Before basketball. I'm sorry, before basketball, it was T-ball. It was T-ball he got into before basketball. And I had bought him his glove because I'm thinking he right-handed. Glove on his left hand. He trying to throw the ball with his right hand, and he couldn't throw the ball. I mean, it was embarrassing. I'm like, man, is that my son? I'm like, yo, man, I couldn't figure it out, man. And after that first practice, I said, man, we got to go to the field, man. We got to fix this. And I'm trying to fix it, I couldn't figure it out. And I'm just like scratching my head, man. I'm like, man, what is it? And then he took his glove off and switched his hand and threw a strike with his left hand. I was like, how the heck are you left-handed? And that's how I found out. So he throws left-handed and he shoots left-handed, but writes with his right hand, kicks the soccer ball with his right foot, and throws the football with his right hand. It's just freaking weird. I don't know. Very weird. All right, let's open the phone lines. No. I'm gonna get to this next one first. I'm gonna open the phone lines after you know what? I'll open it up. Let's take 2 calls. I want to hear your thoughts on the Cheryl Miller and the Caitlin Clark. Phone lines are open. Let's do it. Can eat pork and chicken without getting shot. Yeah, man. She's grown, man. Like, why people feel like they gotta go to war about this, man? Do y'all not find it like seriously? I don't know what everybody's nationality is or what their race is and all this stuff or what their gender identity is, but all I do know is that everybody in this comment section likes sports and like basketball, and we get to come in here and talk. Don't it feel good that we don't have to freaking dislike each other just because one of us is rooting for one of these players and hating the other one? Like, that jump feels I don't like freaking trying to defend somebody just because another person hates them, for whatever reason. I mean, I'm not gonna attempt to freaking guess why you hate Reese or why you hate Caitlin Clark. I'm not even gonna attempt to, but that junk is freaking ridiculous. It's not fun, and it makes sports just everything what it's supposed to be about. It makes it horrible, man. Like going into the barbershop to be able to talk about something and not bring in politics, not bring in gender identity, race, and bring all that stuff into it, and we can just talk about the game. That's fun. Caller from North Carolina, what's up?
About time, man. Every time I try to call, you be trying to duck the smoke, man. I'm getting tired of you, man.
Chris.
But what?
What's good?
Man, I don't look, the Angel Reese thing, man, people don't like her because of her off the court situations, pretty much, and just what she be saying.
So it's not basketball?
Nah. It's just, her looking good and, her being young. So, she's living her life. So they don't like that.
So not basketball related.
No. She's a good player. She definitely has talent. These numbers are terrible. If we're talking about efficiency, that jump shot is broke.
Her free throws are good though. So that's
73%. That's LeBron James numbers.
Yeah, but for a big a post player, LeBron is a wing player, right? So
LeBron is 6'9".
A wing player,
6'3".
Right. Come on, it's women and men. Are you serious?
I get it, but she's really the point. Really the height of a point guard. To be honest,
the height of a man point guard.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
She's a big in the WNBA.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is her shooting stroke from the free throw line looks good, and it's the same shot every time, which tells me that it is only a matter of time and enough repetition for her regular jump shot, in-game jump shot to be improved. So it's there. The bones are there, and I think she'll be more improved. But go ahead.
Her finishing at the rim is another thing.
It's hitting 39%,
man, is bad. It's bad, and a lot of people think that she's stat padding for those rebounds, which is why they are saying that her team is pretty much playing better with her not on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And because, you know, she just chasing rebounds, and I think she chasing that Rookie of the Year, which is not going to happen. It was going to be Caitlin Clark, even if she was averaging Malcolm Brogdon numbers when he won Rookie of the Year. It wouldn't have mattered. So, you know, I wouldn't say that you're, you know, a Caitlin Clark hater, because I know you're not. I know you like Caitlin Clark. Everybody loves Caitlin Clark except for those women in the NBA.
Lord have mercy.
But
what women
outside
don't like,
of that,
what women don't like Caitlin Clark?
I mean, it's obvious those players in that.
Which ones? Which ones don't like her?
I mean, you pick one.
You tell me which one don't like her.
All of them.
All the women don't like her.
Just about. I say because it's the height. It's the height, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's better players in the WNBA better than Caitlin Clark. So they feel as if I don't see why she has all this hype. Now I'm better than her, but you know that's just how it is. It's just like LeBron James when he came in with all that hype.
Who didn't like LeBron James? I think we making stuff up.
His team? No, we're not. His team didn't like him.
We making stuff up, bro. No, nobody personally disliked LeBron James on the Cavs. Look, we've sat and watched Darius Miles on his own podcast explain what that was all about, man. And people keep
it don't matter. Them dudes talking that trash. Oh, we got
that don't mean
players.
That don't mean they don't like him.
Already.
That don't mean they didn't like him.
That LeBron James is the most hyped athlete.
That don't mean they don't like him.
Sports.
Like we got to stop this. Oh, I got haters. Oh, they're hating me. Oh, they don't like me. We got to stop that. People want to compete against you. There were people like Darius Miles who came out of high school just like LeBron James,
and he was trash.
Right? Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying.
Up to LeBron James.
Let me finish what I'm saying. There are people like Darius Miles, came out of high school, Quentin Richardson. No, Quentin wasn't on the cast, but Darius Miles and whoever else was on there, Ricky Davis, Carlos
Boozer.
Right. So these are players who have carved their own way already in the league. They didn't know how good LeBron really was. All they knew is that he had a lot of hype and that was coming in the league, and everybody was saying that he was going to save the Cavs and be the next chosen one and all this stuff. And you got these vets sitting here like, man, he gotta figure out how to get on this court and provide first. Like, we're not about to hype you until you can prove to us that you say what everybody's saying you is. If you prove to us, then we'll shut up. If I didn't like you when you came out here and we gave you the opposition, or we gave you the challenge and you overcame that challenge, if we still acting like we don't like you, then that's when you can say they didn't like him. But once LeBron proved that he can play, no one had an issue with him. So what are we talking about? Nobody like. I mean, like right now, if you was at your job right now and your supervisor went to another job, so his spot came open, but you've been training under him for 4 years, and you want to apply for that job, and they tell you, not so fast. We're bringing in this other dude from another district. We're gonna bring him in, right? When he first get there, it's not going to be all cookies and cream and cake and ice cream between y'all two, but he can prove himself, and then you can let your guards down. It's a natural thing. It was a rookie coming in that they said is going to save the league and be immediately better than everyone in the league. And if I'm the best player, I'm sitting here like, I don't know how that's possible. And you gonna have to show me, right?
But
it's called pride. It's called pride. Everybody got it. Like the same video I did earlier this week when Dominique Wilkins said, I don't see how these players can let a G leaguer or a D leaguer come up and win a dunk contest 2 years in a row. Like, you got to have more pride in it and say, oh, hell no. Nah. And this is my last example. You, your kids, your wife, you live at home and all this stuff, right? How would you like it if your wife went and hired somebody to cut y'all grass? You would feel some sense of pride, like, what the hell, that nigga, that's my job. What are you outsourcing for? And that's what I could do. I got pride as well. So you can't knock these women for having pride in their league that they've been in for years, when everyone is telling them that they ain't worth squat. And here comes this rookie that's about to come and show y'all how to play basketball. That's not a real thing. You can't expect that, brother.
That dude Darius Miles said he can ride our bandwagon.
Hey, and that's how he felt.
Darius Miles was never like that.
What was he supposed to say?
He was never like that.
Tell me what he was supposed to say.
Even say that. LeBron James' rookie year was better than Darius Miles.
Okay.
Any fucking year.
But tell me what Darius Miles was supposed to say. What was he supposed to say? The man has been in the league for 3 years. What was he supposed to say?
He was supposed to welcome and say, "Hey, we've been hearing about this LeBron James fella. I think he's gonna be a great player. Let's leave it at that."
No.
He ain't have to get on. He ain't have to ride as you know what.
No.
Be like, oh yeah.
That's not what you say. Either one is fine. Either one is fine.
Either way, he's still a teammate.
Yeah,
you
but
can still embrace your teammate.
But Chris,
without
even one of them is fine. But one of them don't mean I dislike you. That's what I'm saying. We got to put that to bed. That doesn't mean I dislike you. That just means I got pride as well.
So let's say you add somebody to your panel. You know, you got Zoe, Chris, and all of them. Let's say you add somebody new to your podcast.
Okay.
So would you say that about him the way that they did about LeBron? Would you do that to him?
Would I say what specifically?
Oh, we got people on here that's, you know, that has more interesting topics than he do. Just making up stuff, just like Darius Miles and them did.
If you telling me if
you bring somebody,
I'm about to answer the question. So if I tell you, hey, this new guy from this other channel is coming over here to join Man Down, and then everyone in the comment section say, cool, we'll see how it works out. And then he comes over here, there's nothing that need to be said. But if I advertise that this guy's coming and everybody in the comment section say he's about to save Man Down, all of you guys are trash, he's about to come out here and be way better than y'all, he's about to save Man Down, what do you think I'm going to say in response?
I'm asking you.
Well, what my response would be is, never mind, he's not coming. Man Down don't need to be saved. Man,
that's some Michael Jordan shit.
No, but I'm saying, like, come on, man, really? Y'all act like y'all don't know what this is, man.
No, man, that's not right, man.
So if y'all saying Man Down needs to be saved, you want me to be okay with that and not feel no type of way?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can uplift your teammate without riding, without glazing. You don't have to agree. Oh, he's the next
right.
thing,
I can.
But you can still embrace him.
I can, but I'm not a good enough person where you can tell me that something that I'm already working on as hard as possible needs to be saved by someone else. And for me not to, if he's coming to save it, I just need to give it to him and go somewhere else. Like, you can't have two alphas trying to save the same thing. It don't work like that. Somebody got to submit. So if you telling me, if you telling me we've got all these people that's part of Man Down that's building it from the ground up, and you telling me this other person is about to come and save it, no, I'm sorry. I gotta show y'all I can do it with what we already got here now. Just because you said that, and that's what Kobe did when everybody said, "Yeah, Kobe, you good," but Shaq though, All right, well, let me show y'all can do it without Shaq. Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to be saved. And you just told a league full of women and veterans, and somebody in the like down in Tarasi that's in the GOAT conversation, like you telling GOATs, all stars, vets, great players that their league needs to be saved by a rookie. That when they look on film, they can tell she can't handle the pressure because we seen South Carolina turn her over like a like a apple pineapple cake and lock her up 94 feet. Oh, she can't handle the pressure. So we can see that, but y'all telling us this is Superwoman is about to save the league. Okay, I can show you better than I can tell you, and that's the response you go get.
I respect that, but I still feel like you can still uplift them, even though people hyping them up. You can still embrace your teammate without glazing. You know.
Easy there, man.
And another thing.
Yes, sir.
This is something you said a while back. You probably won't even remember, but you said something about James Wiseman, because I seen a clip on YouTube about James Wiseman today. You said Golden State is the reason why that dude can't play.
I first of all, I don't agree that he can't play, but I did say I did say Golden State stunted his growth.
How?
Because he can't.
The style of play.
Yeah, because the you see what Steve Kerr did to Jason Tatum. That's what he did to Jonathan Wiseman.
I mean, Wiseman IQ is terrible, man.
So
that's his problem.
Okay.
His IQ.
Okay.
And he's slow.
Is he the point guard that's running the offense, or is he just rebounding?
No, he's supposed to be. He was supposed to be a Joel Embiid. That's who they compared him to.
No, I ain't never heard that comparison.
They did. They compared him to Joel Embiid because of his size.
I ain't never seen that. I seen athletic. I seen 7 foot.
Embiid.
I seen 7 foot athletic guy, but I ain't never seen no Joel Embiid in the post. None of that. Or no.
He was supposed to have a jump shot.
He does have a jump shot.
He doesn't. It's broke. I mean, we could pull up the numbers.
I watched him extensively, especially that rookie year when he was actually carrying the offense when Steph Curry was out with that wrist injury. And after Steph Curry went out with that wrist injury, Draymond Green elected to have surgery on his gums or something. I don't know what he had surgery on, but he faked some injury and was like, I'm getting a new set of donkey teeth. And he just left. And then Clay was out. So it wasn't nobody but Wiseman and a couple other guys. And Wiseman was absolutely hooping.
Poole was carrying the team.
No, not Poole. Poole didn't show up till Steph and them got back. It was Wiseman. It was that power forward that they had that was a rookie that's like 400 pounds now. I don't know what happened to him. Spillman. It was Spillman.
Yeah, Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal Spillman. Not Spillman. Pascal. Both of them juicy now, but it was them dudes. And Wiseman was absolutely hooping. And then when Draymond came back, they couldn't play Wiseman no more because they like to play small ball and play Draymond at the 5 and do all those things. So he came kind of expendable, and then they kept putting him on the bench. I'm like, man, I started all last season. Now I can't even get in the game. And now y'all dropping me down to the G League. And it got to the point where he probably requested that trade, and they traded him. But these are guys that Bob Myers drafted because he knew he wasn't going to be able to afford to pay Clay and pay Draymond, and he had drafted their replacements. Jordan Poole was supposed to replace Clay, and they was going to use Wiseman as their new 5-4 man, and they was going to let Draymond walk. Think about what this team would be now if they would have kept Wiseman. They would have paid Poole, kept Poole, but traded Clay and Draymond instead of paying them this huge max contract, traded them for more draft picks or some role players. And you move forward with Steph, Poole, Wiggins, Gary Payton, Wiseman. Who else they had on that squad? Otto Porter Jr., Loney, They could have moved forward with all them dudes and revamped and added another piece. They probably could have added Paul George. You get what I'm saying? So, but they wanted to keep Clay and Draymond so bad that they would send Poole packing and bring in CP3 and get him. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you bought CP3 in for what? Just because you wanted to get rid of Poole? Because you wanted to keep Draymond? That's why they're in the situation they're in now, man. But let me get to the next caller, man. You trying to keep me on here forever.
Go ahead, man.
All right. It was 2 more callers that called in, man. Phone lines are open. You can call in. I get one. Yeah, Moses Moody as well. Yeah. And he's not. And Kuminga. I forgot about Kuminga. Kuminga and Moses Moody. All those dudes were supposed to be the replacements. They're supposed to move forward with Steph. They were supposed to keep Steph and Wiggins and Kuminga and Poole and Wiseman and Moody. Like that. They had Bob Myers had the perfect plan B. Not even a plan B. He had the perfect replacements to keep this thing going. But now they just got huge contracts and they're spinning wheels, not going nowhere. All right. I'll take this phone number down. And we can go to our next topic because this one is really interesting. So the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, was on, I want to say, NBC doing an interview. And they asked her a question pertaining to the toxicity that's going around the fan base and the media that's, surrounding Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And I think that was a good opportunity for her to kind of address it and nip some things in the bud. And say we don't stand for this and put those type of things to bed. And she failed at it. She failed miserably. So this is what her response was when they asked her.
Thinking about it, like damn.
So Kyrie is the Kobe to.
Why is that even in there? There we go.
That question, which raises some sensitivities of rivalries between players. In the case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury. Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things about the other?
Well, the one thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. So the social media is different today than it was in 1979 when it didn't exist. But, I always tell the players, I was told a long time ago, if someone's typing something in and you wouldn't ask their advice, ignore it. So it's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much, much more so than they were 5 years ago, because they see the benefit of having women and diverse women representing their brand.
I agree. Rivalries are good. Manning and Brady, the prime one among them.
I didn't like it. So she, like I said, she missed the opportunity to nip it in the bud, but she made it worse. Like if she just would have sidestepped the question, then the worst thing that she did was avoid answering the question. But she didn't just sidestep the question. She then offered up a reason why it was good for the league, and which means that I'm aware of all of that toxic stuff that's going on. I'm aware of the misogyny. I'm aware of the sexism. I'm aware of the racism, and I'm aware of the whatever the genderism, whatever you want to call, all these people making these comments about the WNBA player's sexuality and who they choose to kick it with, right? She said, I'm aware of all that stuff. I know that the fans that we've brought to this game is insulting our players. I know they're insulting everyone based on what they feel like they want to see with Caitlin Clark. And I think it's good for the league because remember, this happened with Magic and Bird, and one was white and one was black, and this and that. And I'm like, wait, so you okay with this going on because it's growing your league, right? So I'm like, man, that is insane, man. Like, you got to do better than that, right? So what happened? The Players Association president, who is the mother of Jaren Jackson Jr., that plays for the Memphis Grizzlies, married to Jaren Jackson Sr., right? And who also, she was a former athlete herself. She released a statement. Right after that interview, she dropped this. This is a statement from the executive director of the PA. Here is the answer that the commissioner should have provided to the very clear question regarding racism, misogyny, and harassment experienced by the players. Now, what racism are we talking about? Well, you already know I did a video with examples of what the racism looked like coming from the new fans that are surrounding the WNBA now. That racism was, aimed at a lot of Angel Reese and her teammates, and we've seen it at a high level even when she was in college with the article that came out calling them dirty debutantes, and all these things is going on. I'm like, man, what the heck is going on? They called the South Carolina player thugs, bullies, and all this stuff just because they're big and play physical. Like, they didn't want physicality in college either. So I know it's just a chip off the old block when we see it in the WNBA. All right. So what was the misogyny? I mean, the way Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp talked to Monica McNutt and the ladies that was on that panel, Michelle Agumake and all that stuff, the way they talked to them and felt like, hey, look, man, I don't care if you've been at the WNBA for 10, 15 years. I don't care if you played in the league. I don't care if you're a vet. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer. I'm a man and I'm part of the NBA. So I should be able to tell you what y'all should be doing in y'all WNBA league, right? And y'all should be doing X, Y, and Z, and y'all should be rolling out the red carpet for Caitlin, and y'all should be doing this, and she bought y'all chartered flights, and y'all should be doing it. Stop competing, stop fouling her hard, stop doing this. Y'all are jealous, and they're saying, look, we're not jealous. We just want to compete. Yes, you are jealous, and that's the misogyny. Like, I mean, they was talking down on these girls. Well, they really needed to be quiet and say, all right, what type of league do y'all want? I get it. I can say one time and say my piece. I think y'all should do it this way, but it's not my league, it's y'all's. I'm gonna let y'all do it, but this is just my opinion. I would respect it. But to say this is what I think, and then the women say, nah, it's not like that. This is what we think. And we say, well, you're wrong, and I'm a man. Right? Like, I think that's horrible. We got our own league that we can shape and mold the way we want to mold it. They don't have to shape and mold their league the same way we did it. I know they want success. And you're saying, hey, look, man, y'all can be successful if y'all do what the NBA did. Well, you know what? They might not want to do it like that. Have that ever occurred to people like we might not want to do it the way the NBA did it? The NBA is a dying product now because some of the decisions that they made. We don't want to go down that road. We seen y'all messed up. Y'all can barely win in the Olympics. So, I mean, you got Jokic and Giannis and Luka saying it's easier to score in the European League. It's easier to score in the NBA than it is the European League. That's horrible. We're supposed to be the best league in the world, and it's easier to score in our league. That's not the case for the WNBA right now. The WNBA has a very good brand of basketball. Don't change it because of one player needs it changed so she don't have to face physicality. Don't change it. What was the harassment? Following the Sky players to their hotel room after the game, all because someone bumped Caitlin Clark in the game. The media coming after them, continuously calling them jealous, continuously calling them gay, saying they're jealous because she's straight. That's the harassment. So to not address any of that as the commissioner is wrong. In the purple, there is absolutely no place in sport or in life for the vile, hate, racist language, homophobic comments, and misogynistic attacks on players that our players are facing on social media. I agree. This is not about rivalries or iconic personalities fueling a business model, which is what Kathy said in the interview. She said this rivalry is good for the league. The personalities of Caitlyn and Angel is fueling the league. Well, you're trying to fuel this league, but at the expense of the mental health of Caitlyn Clark and the mental health of Angel Reese. They shouldn't have to do it. Like you got on the shoulders of Caitlyn Clark all of white America and everyone who is I don't know. It's just like it's too much for her. When her best friend is Kate Martin, who has a girlfriend, and you're putting Caitlyn Clark as the face of all straight women, and pitting her against the entire WNBA because you think the entire WNBA is not straight. And her best friend is Kate Martin, who has a girlfriend. So you do you think she has a problem with people who like the same sex? I don't think she do. But her fan base is making her the face of all the straight women, all the straight white women. That's unfair. That's too much on her shoulders. And then now you got Reese, who got all the Caitlyn Clark fans and the media just trashing her and making her a target, all because they think she don't like Caitlyn Clark. That's unfair. All because you want to grow the league, commissioner. That's unfair, right? And you had to make that dumb statement, and it took the Players Association to come out with a statement. This kind of toxic fandom should never be tolerated or left unchecked. The fandom that followed Caitlyn Clark to the league is mostly toxic. You do not have to insult other players to root for Caitlyn Clark. You do not have to boycott the entire Olympic in support of Caitlyn Clark because she didn't get picked on the team. You do not have to go on your YouTube channels or your social media account or your newspapers, Barstool Sports, Outkick the coverage. You do not have to go on there and continuously watch everything that Angel Reese does so you can attack her about doing it or not doing. You do not have to do all those things. So when those things go unchecked, yes, it is a bad thing. It demands immediate action and frankly should have been addressed a long time ago. The commissioner never addressed it. So now the Players Association's got to step in. As director of the WNBA PA, now in my 9th season, I can say that we wholeheartedly welcome the rising interest in the WNBA over the past few years, particularly the surge in fandom sparked by the electrifying rookie class led by Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. So she's saying, look, we welcome y'all. We wholeheartedly welcome y'all to all the interest in the NBA. We love it. However, to the loyal fans who have been with the W for decades, she highlighted that one, to the loyal fans, because loyalty is through the ups and downs, I'm sticking with you. Loyalty is not, well, if Caitlyn don't get drafted or she don't get selected by the Olympics, we're not watching. That's not loyalty to the WNBA. So why watch any WNBA games that if you don't love the WNBA or you don't like the product or you're not loyal to it? There were fans that were already here that was loyal. So just like the Three Little Pigs story, you can build your house with wood, you can build your house with straw, but I'd much rather you build your house with brick. Brick is a loyal fan. That's a fan that doesn't blow away easily when the big bad wolf comes. Those are the fans we want. Those are the people that's part of the foundation of the WNBA. Those are the people that keep us going. The ones that can, those fair weather fans that can blow in the wind and go either way. Like, what if Caitlin Clark, if all this fandom is just for Caitlin Clark, what if she gets hurt? God forbid. Now we got a league that we can't even keep up what we was doing because y'all just here for one player. It's ridiculous. So she's saying, look, the loyal fans who have been with the W for decades, thank you for your unwavering support. That support is unwavering. It don't change. We're here. But the ones is let's boycott the Olympics. The whole league is jealous. The whole league is against one player. All these threats. Oh, if y'all don't stop pushing Caitlin, we just go stop watching. Now what is going to happen with your charter flights? Like, these are threats. Like, who wants a fan base that continuously threaten them for just playing basketball the way they've always been playing it? If you would have been watching us, you would have known that that's what we've been doing for years. Now you telling us, well, if you don't stop pushing Caitlin Clark, we go leave, and then your charter flight's gonna be gone, and then what you gonna do? Have peace of mind? Because I guarantee you, this is probably the most stressful basketball season they've ever been through. They're gonna have peace of mind. They're gonna have peace of mind. You know the history of the game, and then she's still talking to the unwavering support and the loyal fans. She said, you know the history, you know the game, and you know the players. You know us best. Man, that's a bar. She says, you know the history, the game, and the players. You know us best. The loyal fans is what she's talking about. Pretty much these new fans that came with the WNBA, we can care less about y'all. We appreciate y'all. Welcome to the W. Enjoy it. We got a lot of things that you can enjoy in this league. We're glad you're here. But we got grassroots fans here. We got loyal fans. We got fans who know the history. We got fans who know that hard foul that Caitlin Clark got is normal in our league. We know that some of our best players have all endured those hard fouls. We know that some of our best players came in, endured it, overcame it, and then got on top of the league. We respect that. We've seen the league at its lowest. We remember when the games was on the Lifetime Network. Those are loyal fans. Those are fans that's not going to go and attack other fans and attack other players and follow them to their hotel room and try to and try to threaten them and try to intimidate them. Call them out for their sexuality. Call them out for all of that stuff. No, our fans never did that. And God forbid the hate that, Paige Bucher's got of UConn when she just went on her platform when she won her ESPYs award and gave a lot of shout out to the women of color that contributed to the basketball. She got hate for that. So come on, man, we're not fools. And to our new fans, okay, new fans, we got something for y'all too. And to our new fans, welcome with an exclamation mark. Your energy and passion are recognized and appreciated because that's all they bring to it is energy, passion, and money because they're buying tickets and buying merchandise. Your energy and passion are recognized and appreciated, but that's all you got. You got energy and passion, but our loyal fans, they got history. They know the game. They know the players. They know them best. And they got passion and energy. So these new fans, you just got passion and energy, but our loyal fans, they got it all and they know us better and they got history with us and they grassrooted and they know the game. All of those things. We got these new fans that admitting, I've never watched basketball a day in my life. These new fans hey, I've never watched before. I'm only here for Caitlin Clark. I've never watched WNBA. Some I've never watched basketball. Some I've never watched college sports. Some I've never watched women's basketball. But I'm here for Caitlin. Welcome. We welcome y'all. But we was fine without y'all. Don't get it twisted. All right. And to the right. But let's be clear. Fandom should lift up the game, not tear down the very people who bring it to life. Racism and the toll it takes on everyone is never tolerable, let alone justifiable. I had a person tell me that everything Angel Reese gets coming her way, she asked for it. She asked to be the villain, so she should just shut up and stop playing the victim. So I asked them, so that means everything, the racism, the harassment, she got to endure all of it, and she can never say anything about it. Like they want to kind of like push you into a corner or put you in a duo twist, or what's the word I'm looking for? They want to use guilt and shaming tactics to force you to be okay with the harassment they're giving you, right? And that's when you hear them say, well, she asked to be the villain, so you can't cry now. Remember, Emmanuel Acho said, well, you can't cry at the podium after you lose because you wanted to be the villain. Villains can't cry, right? So basically, everything that has been done to Caitlin Clark, she just got to take it on the chin and don't say nothing about it so they can keep doing it in the dark and nobody ever know that they're doing it. That's the only reason why they say, man, you can't tell because you wanted to be the villain. And I was like, man, well, who's allowed to be the victim? I want to, like, what do you got to do to be a victim? If someone targeting you and victimizing you is not enough for you to be a victim, what else you got to do to be a victim? I want to know. This is about more than just basketball. Oh, I'm sorry. Let alone justifiable in the name of economic growth, because that's another thing the commissioner said. This is what we need. We need a little drama to grow. So in her head, look, man, I'm fine with this because this money coming in. I ain't about to change nothing. Bring all your toxicity, harass my players, do all this. You just deal with it. But nah, it shouldn't be like that. This is more than just basketball. It's about respect, accountability, and setting the standard for what we will and will not accept in our sport and society. And she's right. And she's right 100% right. Breanna Stewart is part of the Players Union. They interviewed her after her Liberty game, and they asked her about it. This is what she said.
Like, to be honest, I saw the interview today, and then have been in talks with Terry at the WBPA. I think that it's kind of disappointing to hear because, the way that the fans have surged, and especially behind Caitlin and Angel coming to this league, but also bringing like a race aspect to a different level. And, there's no place for that in our sport. And I think that's really it, is we want our sport to be inclusive for race, gender, and really a place where people can be themselves. So we wish, obviously, Kathy would use her platform in a different way and have made that a little bit better, but kind of just telling the fans, like, enough is enough, become a fan of our sport. And for the new ones, like, lock in on everybody, but don't be disrespectful, because as a league, like, we stick together, and there's no place for that.
And I'm not going to stop there, because before the All-Star break, at the beginning of the season, when all this was going on and getting really bad, because they was attacking everybody, all because Caitlin Clark could not get her shots off. She was turning the ball over. They were losing. They were pissed off. People were saying, you're messing up the money. Why are y'all playing her so hard? They asked her about that, and she had to come out and say the same kind of thing.
But just to ask you directly, when people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever, what is your response to that?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women in our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is a league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. So just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think is just a basic human thing that everybody should do. Like, just be a kind person and treat them, how you would want to be treated. And I think it's, very simple.
And comments like this: welfare NBA for life. Let's go. Ain't nothing that was said. And these are the players telling you what they want. They don't want this environment around their game. Take it to the NBA if you want to be toxic. Yeah, they might feel different about it. The money they're getting might be worth it. But these women are telling you all money is not good money. I get rid of all this money and Caitlin Clark for a peace of mind to get rid of the fans that came with her. We love Caitlin. We don't, they're saying we love Caitlin. We don't want to get rid of her. But if we have to get rid of her to get rid of those fans, then all of y'all can go. And that's why she didn't get picked on the Olympic team. Not because of her fans. Y'all screwed it up for Caitlin Clark. Y'all took that away from her. So yeah, they're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater if y'all don't straighten up. Enjoy the game. You don't have to insult the entire league just for this one player. She don't even want it. So yeah, that's all, man. I'm you know what? I will open the phone lines up for this too, man, because I want to hear people call in that disagree with me, and we can have a civil discourse. Mel, what them fans do when Juju arrives in the league? CC fans gonna have a I don't know. I mean, but she got 3 years because senior year, junior year, well, at least 2. I think you can come out your junior year. Maybe she might forego her senior year, I don't know. But maybe not. Maybe she stays her senior year and try to break records, who knows? But I would love for Juju to come out as early as possible. I mean, we getting Paige next year, so that's gonna help. I mean, I'm telling you, man, these young girls that are coming in the league now man, the league is gonna be so good, man. And we had a league that was exciting like that. The first year it was exciting. It just didn't have a lot of teams, and somehow Houston Comets got they got Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, and Cynthia Cooper. And I'm like, man, they should have had their own squad. Like, how all 3 of them get on one team? Like, they're all GOATs. Tina Thompson, Cheryl Swoops, and Cynthia Cooper, all GOATs. They won 4. Cynthia Cooper only played 4 years in the league. She was 34 when they started the WNBA. She was playing overseas. She played at USC with Cheryl Miller, and then went overseas. When the league started, she was 34 years old and came over here to play. They won the first, second, third, and fourth championship. She won 4 straight and then retired at 38. Or 39 or whatever the case may be. Imagine that. And nobody else couldn't get a ring. Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, Teresa Witherspoon, who's the South Carolina coach? Don Staley, Teresa Edwards. Teresa Edwards was really good. I didn't like Witherspoon too much because she could dribble and pass, but she was kind of like an Ed Coulter to me. Like, she couldn't shoot all that good, you know what I mean? But she got a championship once Cynthia Cooper left, and she won with the Liberty. So she got a championship. I want to say maybe Sue Bird was on that team with her. I can't remember. But of course, Lisa led it. But nobody couldn't get no rings while Cynthia Cooper was there with Cheryl Swoops and Tina Thompson. That was a wrap. Nobody couldn't get nothing. So we've had a lit league before. But I don't know if y'all knew after NBC didn't have a contract with the WNBA, somebody had the bright idea that, hey, let's put it on the women's network, Lifetime Network channel, and let us show our games there. And I guess they thought that if it was on a women's network, that they would just get an explosion of women supporters. And quite frankly, nobody knew where to find the games at. And Lifetime wasn't advertising. NBC do a great job with the NBA, even better than TNT, right? But when NBC didn't have the WNBA anymore, disappeared. Keyboard gangsters, they don't warrant respect. They're not authentic. They're just miserable, hateful people. Yeah, you're right. 100%. I hate that the league has stepped in for CC. I wanted to see her develop legitimately. Yeah. Like the way they defend her now and the calls her entire team gets now, not just Caitlin, her entire team gets star calls now. I'm like, man, come on, man. After 7 games, like it took Michael Jordan 7 years, and Michael Jordan was doing Michael Jordan stuff even against all that opposition and defense. They wasn't winning to the point where they was getting to the championship, but he was still averaging his 30 and 37. It wasn't like the defense was stopping him. It was stopping his teammates. His teammates wasn't ready for it. He could still get by with it. He could still get his 30, but they just couldn't get the wins, and his teammates couldn't do what they wanted to do. Right? So nothing changed for MJ to be MJ. MJ was MJ when he got drafted. They told us CC was MJ, and when she got there, we was like, nah, that might be JM, but it ain't MJ. And I was like, well, let's change everything around her and make her MJ. You know what I mean? So I think that's a little fraudulent, man. But yeah, since we're not getting the phone calls, let's be honest. It's not just a sport; it's a business. The people in the office have to look at as a business. The fans aren't in the office when commissioners talking with the supports. Oh yeah, for sure, it's a business. I agree with you. It's a business. I always watch the WNBA because I always had cable. Oh man. Saw that today, Mel, when my Aces won. Nah, did they win? Yeah, I wish I could have been watching it, man, but I wanted to give y'all, because I was supposed to do this for lunchtime, but I had technical difficulties, man, so I ended up doing it late. But I had to give y'all this live because y'all ain't seen this since last Friday. So I had to do that. But my last topic, and I think y'all gonna like this one, and I need y'all to call in on this one as well. As a matter of fact, hold on, before we end this, because I didn't do Kathy her justice after the of course Brianna Stewart and everybody from the Players Association said what they said about Kathy. She did tweet back and say that during a recent media interview, I was asked about the dark side of social media and online conversation about WNBA rivalries and race. To be clear, there's absolutely no place for hate or racism of any kind in the WNBA or anywhere else. So she did come back and clean up her missed opportunity. So I give her credit for that. Another funny thing that happened, of course, we had the presidential debate last night, right? And something happened that was kind of started by Taylor Swift that kind of trickled down to Caitlin Clark, because she's a huge Taylor Swift fan. And Taylor Swift came out and tweeted, as a matter of fact, let me show the tweet here, the original tweet. She came and tweeted and pretty much said that, somebody used AI generated something to make it look like that she was endorsing Donald Trump or something. I don't even know what that original thing was, but she came out and posted on her Instagram account saying that wasn't true. And she said that I'm officially, she said I will be, and this is the third paragraph, I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. I am voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. Right, whatever those rights and causes is, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with women's rights. If you look toward the end of that paragraph, she said, I was so it was so heartening and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to hear her own body, for women's right to her own body for decades, right? So women's rights is a big thing. I think Steph Curry kind of said the same thing. Women's rights. He said, I have daughters, my mom, my wife, and all that stuff. He said women's rights is a big thing for him in his house. So women's rights is a lot of things that people are coining these days, which coincide right with what we just got finished talking about with the WNBA. And what really caused a big fuss is you see right there in the red brackets, Caitlin Clark, who follows Taylor Swift, obviously liked her post. And I think that made a lot of her fans maybe scratch their head. And it is what it is with that. What's up, World Breaker? You go like this next topic. All right. Okay. Gilbert Arenas, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. This I'm gonna pause this one because it's long. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna talk. We'll go talk, and then we'll play it again because there was a big blow up on Gil's Arena. It was probably last week, and it started from a tweet from Nick Young. He tweeted something out. He basically said, the Kyrie and Curry thing is similar to the Jordan and Michael Jordan thing, and he was saying people don't want to admit that Kyrie is better than Curry, just like they don't want to admit that Kobe is better than Jordan, right? And it caused a stir. And this is some of it. Dwight Howard was on the episode. Nick Young, Gilbert Arenas, Brandon Jennings, Kenyon Martin. Those are the voices you'll hear, and of course the main moderator, Josiah.
Curry, MJ. People scared to say he's better. So before we get to the Kyrie Steph discussion, are you saying Kobe is better than MJ?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
This
is
the obvious.
I say it.
Yeah, Kobe is better than MJ.
But people throw 6 rings in his face all the time.
That's an impressive feat?
Yeah, because he never was able to. He almost got 3.
For me, I think Jordan was like the shiny object in the big man era. And Kobe played against
mediocre.
So Dwight, I saw your
shooting guards too.
Saw your face when you heard that.
D-Wade was the
mediocre.
Do you agree with Nick saying that
D-Wade is the third?
Kobe is better than
Paul Pierce. You got Ray Allen. You got T-Mac. You got
just overall. Nick,
I don't feel like MJ had a package. He could jump. He could have finish like Kyrie, but I don't think his package was. It was more quick moves to the hole and jump high and finish.
Yeah, I think Kobe better than MJ skill wise. Yeah, he took everything Jordan did and multiplied. He did it better. So
it had more. It added himself to it.
Okay,
3.
You got to get better. Yeah, I feel like you got to get better. It involves. You got to get better.
So what did he?
Yeah, 81.
I'm a fan of both, huh?
Yeah, 81.
He created the
reverse
pivot.
Yeah, 81 points for the game. Okay.
81 on the way out.
But I didn't even ask the fucking question. I ain't even asked the question yet. You motherfucker. Yeah, 81. Like, no shit, he had 81. We all knew. I ain't even asked the goddamn question yet.
Knowledge.
Brother
Go ahead.
knowledge.
Hit me with your shit, brother.
Yeah, I ain't even asked the goddamn question. Nigga just right out.
Come on with it. Come on.
He had 81. Like,
Come on with it.
Okay.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Come on, knowledge.
Okay, we know he had 81. Now can I ask my question?
Yes, knowledge.
Right?
Yes, knowledge.
God damn. So y'all say he enhanced MJ's game. Okay, so what did he do that MJ didn't do? Okay, the pump fakes, the different finishes.
Yeah.
I get, yes, okay, but what did he do that MJ didn't do?
What did MJ do? He had a fadeaway, drive, fade, pump fake, spin, pump fake.
MJ?
Pump. No, Kobe. I'm talking about spin, pump fake. This way.
He enhanced the perimeter skill set. The
So if you
toolbox,
make it
the toolbox
better,
on the
are you better?
perimeter.
Yeah.
When you talk about footwork,
better.
so he took MJ's mid-range footwork and he put it to the.
Wait, hold on. So let me ask you this. So
that
is not the mid-range game, but
That's not.
He extended it.
No. Y'all let that media bullshit. Y'all let media bullshit. Y'all better watch.
Y'all know. You know I'm a student.
Kobe's. Okay, you a student?
Kobe game is not.
Then why the fuck are you talking about
Kobe enhanced MJ's moves when you're only talking about MJ 95, 96. He did not. He did not.
Who was talking 95, 96?
Kobe don't look nothing like MJ in 84 to 93. He don't know who that nigga is.
Who you say now?
MJ in 84 to 93. Kobe don't know what that guy looks like.
Hold on.
He learned Michael Jordan's old nigga come back with the post up fadeaway. That's the MJ he mimicked. He did not mimic Air Jordan.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it there. So Nick Young, Brandon Jennings, Dwight Howard both said Kobe was better than Michael Jordan. I thought that was interesting, right? But their argument is so primitive and weak, and like I don't understand it. Lone, thanks for the super chat. I get to that in a second though, but I don't understand their point on why they can't really articulate why they think he's better. All they keep saying is everything that MJ was doing, Kobe did it and enhanced it. And I'm trying to figure out how did he enhance it, right? I think what they mean is he took everything MJ was doing and he added a new school flair to it where Kobe Bryant would have more of some of that Iverson crossover to his game, right? So when it comes to ball handling, when it comes to crossovers and the behind the backs and and the stuff like that, yeah, he added that on. So imagine if Jordan if he did a little bit of Iverson stuff. But if you remember from the first segment when we was talking about Bonzi when he was like in the 90s, that wasn't part of our game. It wasn't the fact that we didn't have it in our bag. It was the fact that we had to play in a phone booth and everything we did was 1, 2, or 3 dribble pull-ups, especially Michael Jordan. If you can't do what you need to do in 2 to 3 dribbles, then you need to get a rock up. Right? So all that bad work wasn't something that we was trying to show people before we got a shot off. We wanted to show that you couldn't stop me from scoring, and I'm gonna make it look very quick, easy, and simple. 1 dribble pull up is over. Quick, right? Not torturing people. I get the kill quick, right? So that kind of, they're trying to act like that's not a real thing. Right. So, but what they're saying is, oh, he enhanced everything MJ did. He didn't enhance it. Right. He added it to his bag. He added to his repertoire. He tried to make it look as crisp and as flawless as MJ did. But Kobe wouldn't even agree to what they saying. Like Kobe's saying, look, everything I called Michael Jordan to ask him, he gave me the answer to. And there was nothing that I was trying to figure out that when I called him, he didn't have the answer. And when he gave me what the answer was, when I did it, it worked. So he was like, I would never say I'm better than Michael Jordan. This is after he retired. While I'm competing and playing, that's my motivation. But now that I'm not competing anymore, I don't have that same competitive edge where I feel like it has to be me. And when I'm really sitting down thinking about it for real, he's taught me so much. How can I say I'm better than him? Like, it don't even make sense. Like, he didn't even teach me everything he knew. But whatever he did teach me got me to 5 rings and 6 finals. It got me everything I got because I was studying MJ, and then I was able to use him as a source of knowledge even after he finished playing. All right, MJ is a basketball god. Kobe is a demigod. The rest are angels and worshipers. Gil is incredible. His son will be a problem, though. Yeah, his son is going to be a problem for sure. His son going to be nice. I think Carmelo's son going to be better, though. All right, let's keep going.
Michael Jordan.
The first 10 years of Kobe Bryant.
So when he averaged 37, 38, All of them was dunks and threes.
Yeah, he was playing against
Michael Jordan.
Elo,
But
fucking
I
Mark.
didn't ask you who he was playing. I ain't
Cleveland Cavaliers was the
you
best
can't fucking
second
split
team.
hairs with me, nigga. I didn't ask you who he was playing against.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I didn't say who he was
It was
playing
close to the
against.
hole.
Y'all niggas want to bring shit into argument. Don't nobody fucking bring
But that's
up.
what's wrong with you.
I didn't say who the fuck he was playing against.
No, he
I
wasn't
asked you
mid-range
this.
dominant.
No.
He wasn't mid-range dominant when he
So
first
what all
came.
these?
No, so
it was
Kobe
all
didn't.
dunks
Kobe don't know that nigga.
Layups to the hole.
In threes.
He might hit a mid-range or two.
He didn't. So he
and
had
then shoot
37, 38
They
points
took
a
the
game.
three-point line
doing
away.
all layups.
They
The
took the
same shit
three-point
that
line
Allen
away.
The same shit that Allen Iverson was doing, Michael Jordan was doing.
Okay, so
Same exact shit.
Okay, so-
Layups, middies.
okay, no. Okay, let's break it down. You said
They didn't have a three-point line.
you said Kobe. You
Who,
said
Michael Jordan's in the league?
They took it away.
No, they.
The niggas
Hey man,
they said,
no more
these niggas
Hennessy
can't
for him.
shoot.
Kobe got
They're like, this niggas can't shoot.
No more
Like,
Hennessy for this nigga.
No, the argument. What I'm saying, the argument is the argument.
Some milk.
No, the argument they're using.
He crazy.
MJ's fadeaway.
He crazy.
No,
When he
crazy. What year did Kobe look like MJ?
When he changed his number.
45.
When he got old,
Okay, so
Kobe Bryant's first 10 years in the league, he was Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
He was afro.
Okay.
He was leg sleeve.
So he didn't look like MJ.
No.
Cool. All right.
It was Kobe Bryant.
Number 24 looked like which Michael Jordan?
Yes.
The older Michael Jordan.
Okay.
The 1998 Michael
So,
Jordan.
okay,
The
so-
Phil Jackson have a conversation with Kobe Bryant like, Kobe, let's make it a little bit easier. Let's watch this Michael Jordan film and show you how to slow the game down, go one dribble, pull up.
Okay.
Two dribble, pull up.
So-
this was the end of number 8, though. The 81 game, he started to reach that level of understanding.
20 years
Oh,
old.
let me go here.
So
Go
so basically you're saying 1 year Kobe did something better than Jordan when Jordan was 34, 35 years old. And you're saying this is a carbon copy of a man who's 34 to 35. But you do not want to talk about the nigga that came in the league averaging 37, 35, 31 because no one looks like that guy.
No one looks like the dude that came in that was averaging 30 plus points as a rookie and second year and third year player. He said nobody looks like that dude. So Gil's argument is that when people compare Kobe to Mike, the vision of Mike they have is Mike after his first retirement. When he came back a little older, lost a little bit of athleticism as far as leaping ability and speed and quickness. You know, his knees wasn't as good anymore. And this is when he was utilizing his technical skills a lot more than his athletic skills. And everything was very technically sound. Everything was Mayweather-like, right? Imagine someone that was knocking people out like Tyson for about 10 years and then retired and then came back 2 years later and was technically sound like Mayweather because he didn't have the knockout power no more. That's basically what they're saying Mike did. They said Mike came in and was just overwhelming people with physicality and then came back and then just automatically was just like, okay, now I'm Mayweather. I'm overwhelming you with how technically sound I am. Right. And they're saying that Kobe modeled his game. This is what Gil's saying. Kobe modeled his game after the Mike that was the most technically sound player we ever seen. And I kind of agree, but I kind of don't, because we know Kobe was a student of the game and we know he was watching everybody, not just Mike. He was watching Jerry West. He was watching Elgin Baylor. He was watching every Laker great. He was watching David Thompson. He was watching his dad, Jelly Bean. He was watching Mike. He was watching Magic. He was watching Bird, studying these people. So many testimonies of people saying that he's locking himself in his room in his house and watching film. Tracy McGrady talked about it. Byron Scott, the music executive that was in LA when he first got there. I can't remember. I can't remember his name. But a record executive, there's so many people that testify that Kobe locked himself in rooms and just watched film, old film. He was a student. So I don't think he has modeled his game after the new MJ, but you can't work on being as athletic as MJ. Like, you don't get in the gym and say, all right, so all summer I'm trying to work on getting his 45 or 46-inch vertical, whatever he had. You don't go in the gym and work on that. So only thing I can work on is his technical skills, which I'm going to work on. So that's why his technical skills look like MJ's technical skills, and because MJ was using his technical skills the most once his athleticism diminished a little bit or started to decline, because he was still a great athlete even when he was 34. Right. So that's what Gil is saying, but that's where he's a little off.
So when they say Anthony Edwards looked like Michael Jordan, they're not talking about 6 rings, Michael Jordan. They're talking about the nigga who was coming down, jumping, and dunking on everybody. Nobody compares Kobe to that. Y'all pretend that this nigga didn't even exist. Air Jordan, MJ, the wings nigga. The nigga said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do this on him. We're going to bring him
why
this.
we don't compare?
So you pretend he didn't exist.
Because Mike wasn't winning anything then.
But what I'm saying, because you physically can't. He physically wasn't this dude. But he physically wasn't this dude. No matter what year. You got to remember.
Wait.
He physically couldn't be Michael Jordan. That Michael Jordan. Like, nigga, I can't physically do your moves. I don't have the jumping ability. So when you're talking about Michael Jordan, think about Kobe in '96. When Jordan comes back, what age was Kobe? He's only looking at this Michael Jordan. He don't know what this Michael Jordan. He can't mimic.
He was watching that Michael Jordan,
I don't
bro.
know. That
we all was watching
that. On Ben Wallace at 18.
That was Allen Iverson. That's more Allen Iverson style.
But that's
true. Where do you stand on this
But
argument?
that's the evolution. That's the evolution of the goal.
He made it real, though.
Never doing none of that
shit. How stupid Michael Jordan looked at 18. He couldn't even go left. Look at Kobe at 18. Come on, man.
We're not talking about that.
Kobe, thank you, man. Let me compare Michael Jordan at 18 to Kobe at 18.
How y'all
Let's start doing that. Let's start doing that. The nigga shot one shot, and the nigga like this. The nigga was wide open.
See Michael Jordan at 18?
Fuck that. That nigga did this at 22. Shot the shot per game, and nigga got famous.
Yeah.
Kobe up here crossing niggas, dunking on niggas at 18.
Let's go.
Stop disrespecting
Let's go.
niggas, man.
Let's go. Hey, Kobe Bryant.
That nigga averaged 2
whole
points.
game. That
nigga made a game
whole game left-handed. A whole Michael Jordan did not.
No.
Larry Bird. Michael Jordan did not.
Michael Jordan was drunk every day.
That nigga had 2 points in the game, and that was the only 2 points he had. He did this.
Who did that?
Michael Jordan in a championship game in Carolina, he said.
Bye.
And if the nigga didn't get past, nobody gonna know Michael Jordan. There ain't no Michael Jordan, James Worthy didn't pass it. I know he hates he passed it.
All right, so this is where I'm gonna remix it. Let me get this super chat first. Thanks for the super chat. Kobe himself said that there was no wasted moves with MJ. He was so strategic, sound, and calculated. Phil said MJ was also more patient and smarter. I agree with that. And let's get to some ignorance a little bit. QWERTY098. I keep on hearing the N-word while they're arguing. Isn't that racist? Please educate me. How about this? Because that's more of a hands-on type training and more of a face-to-face. So I tell you what you should do. Go into a black neighborhood, go to the barbershop where they're having a conversation about the NBA and debating the GOAT, and they're getting that loud. And I want you to join in on that conversation, and I want you to say the N-word and let them educate you. Because it sounds like you want to say it. They don't concern you. But yeah, so he said take Greg Anderson. He's delusional. There's plenty of players that could guard this version of LaFried. Greg smoking and ain't talking about me. Y'all tripping, man. All right, so this is what I want to say, right? Yeah, that was funny too. He said James Worthy made he passed it to MJ. He said I could have made that shot and been MJ. Hey, you gotta admit that's funny. That's hilarious, man. So this is what I want to say, right? I know that conversation was about MJ and Kobe, right? But we know that's not a real conversation. Just like most conversations with Jordan is not real, right? So I'm gonna take it to where it's closer to a real conversation with Kobe and LeBron, right? So let's put MJ off on the shelf. But this is what I would say, because what they're mentioning, all right, so what Gil had mentioned about MJ is that MJ, when he first came in the league, he said his athleticism was off the charts. We still ain't seen nothing like it. We seen nothing like it before or after, right? So he's saying the dude that came in averaging 30 plus, Kobe can't hold a candle to that dude, and no one else can either. We've never seen that dude ever again. All right, that's what Gilbert Arenas said, right? I agree. We haven't seen anything like that, right? Because even with all that athleticism, he was still very technically sound, being someone that was coached by the great Dean Smith at a school like that, where he learned how to play without the ball, because as a freshman, he wasn't even the best player. James Worthy was, and they had real authentic point guards. Like, he really played off the ball and, honed his game. So he was even technically sound as a rookie. He still had great footwork. He still didn't have a lot of wasted movement. He was still that dude, but just a freak athlete, right? So why we didn't see it his whole entire career, which is what I want to bring to y'all attention, is that Mike had so much in his bag, but he was so calculated in how he utilized it. He only used what he needed. If all I need is one dribble, why would I take two? If all I need is two dribbles, why would I take three? If I can get to a spot mid-range and score over you, why do I need to get all the way to the rim? You get what I'm saying? If I can just catch and shoot, why do I have to be the one dribbling the air out of the ball, being a point guard or a point forward? So what I'm saying is, there was more to MJ's game, but unless you force him to bring it out, you probably wouldn't go see it. You hear the stories where MJ, people would say, you can't make him mad. Don't make him mad. And just like that, if you make him mad, you give him a reason to actually play like a demon, and then he'll go off for 20 points in the quarter on you and end the ball game that quick. Like they said, that there was a switch just like that, right? So we didn't see it all the time. So that means that he was scaling his game back. And what I want to say to y'all is that MJ, and not just MJ, because Phil Jackson showed Kobe that MJ did this, and he was able to get Kobe to do it as well. So MJ and Kobe had so much in their game. They could have been a guy that was the point forward or the point guard who handled the ball, who got all the assists and the points. They could have been that dude. But it's harder to win that way. It's easy to get your stats that way, but it's harder to win that way, right? Because on the opposite end of that, if you scale your game back, if I can handle the rock and I'm the best person with the ball in my hand on my team, it takes a different level of I ain't even gonna say maturity, but it takes a higher level of I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for, right? It's you on a different level when you say, I can do that, but I'm not going to do it because he can do it too. He can't do it as well as me, but he can do it enough that I don't have to do it, right? Nobody wants to micromanage everything, right? If you have a team, right, I can do everything, but the team will be better if I delegate. You do that and you be great at that. You do that and you be great at that. Whoever runs a store or a department store or anything, I'm pretty sure they can do it. They can do the cash register. They can clean the bathrooms. They can mop the floor. They can count down the register. They can drop the money off from the safe at the bank. They can do the books. They can order the new parts. They can order the new goods. They can do all of the above, right? That don't mean that you're going to do all of that, right? I can do all of those things, but guess what? I need some teammates to take charge of all of those different things. And if they ever call in sick, guess what I can do? I already know how to do that, so I do it. That's what Magic did. Magic can play center. He's 6'9". But what I'm going to go play center for if I got Kareem right here? Kareem, you play in the post. You play center. Guess what? Kareem goes down in the finals. I'll play center. Right? Same thing with triple doubles. I can rebound well. but I'm the point guard. I got a 7-footer and a big 6'10" guy down low. Why would I go down there and grab them rebounds unless they needed my help? And that's what J. Kidd and Rondo did. Because what Rondo and J. Kidd really wanted to do is for their big man to get the rebound and throw an outlet pass to them as close to half court as possible, so they don't have that far to go for the fast break. But if you run all the way down there and get that rebound, now you got further to go. And it's not a big man getting the rebound and throwing an outlet pass. It's a point guard getting the rebound and taking off running. And I mean, it just messes everything up. But if you're playing a team, hey man, this team is a good rebounding team. I need you to crash the boards this game. Boom. Triple-double from Rondo, triple-double from J. Kidd. That's impressive. Not, hey man, we want to orchestrate this offense so I can get triple-doubles. Right? That we're gonna design our defense so I can get cheap rebounds. We're gonna design the offense so I'm the only one getting assists. And then you get triple-doubles that way. That's not impressive, right? So back to MJ and Kobe. MJ could do everything. Kobe could do everything. But say, hey, look, I'm going to come off the ball. You run point, you run this triangle offense. When it's time for me to get the ball in the offense, I can rise up and catch and shoot on anybody from anywhere, right? That's what I'm going to do. So I want you to listen to this and hear it good. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant scaled their game back to enhance the team. Because if I'm doing less, just like Christ said, I must decrease so you can increase. If I'm still here doing everything and I'm the only light to shine, and I'm going to dim everyone else's light. That's why everyone around LeBron is getting called trash and he's not that good and he can't do nothing without LeBron. Or Wade knees was bad, he wasn't that good. Bosh is not that good. Everyone around LeBron light gets dim while his light is super shiny, right? But what Kobe and Mike did is say, I'm going to dim my light a little bit. It's some things that I can do that I'm not going to do. So I'm going to decrease. I'm going to scale my game back. Tim Duncan did it as well. Rasheed Wallace did it as well. I'm going to decrease so everyone around me can increase, right? So MJ and Kobe scaled their game back to enhance the team. But on the flip side, LeBron James kept his game exactly where it was at. I'm doing everything, and he couldn't enhance the team that way. So what he did was he enhanced his teammates, give me greater teammates to make that look good. Because with regular role players, you can see all the flaws in that offense. But with superstars, you wouldn't be able to see the flaws. So the way MJ and Kobe played, they could win with regular role players and one co-star. And I'm talking about a co-star that's on an all-star level. But LeBron couldn't do it with a one co-star on an all-star level and role players. He needed 2 superstars on his level and role players that's on an all-star level. Ray Allen, Dwight Howard, you get what I'm saying? Carmelo Anthony. That's how he got his job done. Role players on crack, co-stars on crack. That's how I make it look good. And you can't tell me I'm wrong about that. And that's why I got out of all of that. People was hearing the Kobe and Mike thing. All I was hearing is, man, it must be great to coach Kobe or Mike. I mean, because you don't need everything. You don't need 2 superstars. You don't need to run a particular offense that only shines light on LeBron. And if I pass you the ball, then your light can shine in. But other than that, it's all me, big dog. Like who else has looked super good that was with LeBron? Y'all trash all of them. So phone lines open. Call in. Give me your thoughts. And we'll go from there. Let me get to some of these comments. World Breaker. Hey, World Breaker, you got to call in, big dog. This your topic. Did he not see Bron bring the 07 team and then the year they beat the Celtics in 18 the teams was not loaded, man. Did they win a championship? Show me the championship.
Show me the championship.
Caller from Ohio, shut YouTube off in the background so I don't hear the echo, and go ahead and tell me your thoughts.
Okay, I'm gonna just make this right quick because I've been hearing this conversation a lot. But if these guys couldn't go left and all this other stuff, and the players today are so much better, then how did the world catch up? If a car, which was the 92, who these guys didn't have skills and do it, if that car is 100 feet ahead of you, and that car even got faster, how does a car who's 100 feet behind catch up? The argument makes no sense. That's all I'm gonna say. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. All right, let's get another phone call in. Let's get him in on this one. Let's get him in here because it's the last topic. It's like trying to use the flashlight on your phone in the daytime, but you got the sunlight drowning out your flashlight. Of course, exactly. Bron is a career killer. Kobe got far more a fat contract when he left the way he looked on the Lakers. Caller from Jersey, what's up?
Hey, is this Mel?
Yeah, what's up, big dog?
Hey, what's going on? My name's Lamont from AC. Is it okay if I talk about your first topic a little bit?
Yeah. What, the Bonzi Wells or the
Edwards, Anthony Edwards.
Okay, go ahead.
When I first heard his comments, you know who I thought about? I thought about Isaiah Thomas, because I don't blame it on Anthony Edwards. He's a young kid, and everybody in the media and anybody with an axe to grind against Michael Jordan, like Isaiah Thomas, they're making up stories, they're lying, they're trying to change the past. And when I heard Edwards say that, I thought of Isaiah, because Isaiah was one of the most skillful guys that I ever saw in the NBA. Besides the stuff he could do with the ball, he had a big heart and he was a winner. And because Anthony Edwards is in this atmosphere where everybody is trying to uplift today's players to try to make it seem like LeBron is playing against better competition, he don't know no better.
Yeah.
He believes that stuff that he hears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the thing with Jordan, man, I don't know why Gil got to yell and scream. He's selling tickets, I guess. But also, I like the thing you said about Draymond. Man, did that dude quit when what's the name? When Clay was out, and when Curry got hurt, man, he wanted no part of the court that year. Man,
he did.
I think Barkley said something like, "Man, you ain't so tough when you ain't got your boys out there with you," or something he said about that.
He's such a front runner, man. He's such a front runner, for sure.
Man, the thing about Kobe and Mike, I really don't know a lot about Kobe, but I do know about Mike, because I remember in '84, and it's funny that the way that Gil is giving him his props from his rookie year to '93 with how good he was. Because I got a friend that loves Magic, and he loves the '80s. He loves Magic, and he talks about who was the best player in the '80s. And I tell him, if you go through the whole '80s, Magic Johnson was the best player for the entire decade. If you had to name a player,
you think he was better than Bird? Bird was cold.
Actually, I like Bird better than him. But I always tell him,
yeah, Bird was cold.
Always tell him that. Listen, I'm a Sixers fan, bro, and they talk about the Celtics and the Lakers playing those championships. The Sixers and the Celtics regular season games, man, nothing like that. It's nothing that exists like that now, man. But I always tell them, by the end of the '80s, the best player in the NBA was Michael Jordan. By like 1988, 89, hands down, Jordan was better. Bird was on his way out. Magic was still winning MVPs. And even though Magic was winning MVPs, he was on a winning team Michael Jordan was the best player in the NBA by the time the 80s were out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The LeBron guys talk about how he didn't win and all of that. This dude was unbelievable before he started winning. Jordan was, it was a big man's league, and he was the first wing player to really start to lead his team to show him that you could win without a big man. Because they really did have some indescript big guys on their team. Bill Cartwright was probably the best center that they ever had, and he was over the hill by the time he was on the
I would say Luke Longley. I really like Luke Longley, man. I really like him, but still, I mean, he nowhere near All-Star.
Right.
Nowhere near
Right.
All-Star.
Yeah. Listen, I like what you do, man. Keep up the good work, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, one last call, and then I'm gonna end it. One last call. Let's get it in. It was somebody that I just banned that was saying the N-word in here, man. That's not cool, big dog. But I mean, you can't hear it now because you banned. But
hello.
Yeah, what's up, Funky Town? What's up?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro. Sorry about that.
No, what's good?
Having a little problem with my this call and hey, great show again, brother. You really hitting it, and like the last couple of callers said, exactly. Jordan, people don't understand just how different he was compared to everybody else. Like the difference was, they told him eating. They would, people ask talk questions. Well, he's gonna have to learn. It's a big man's league. They were telling him as a rookie. They were sending out those warning shots throughout the press. He didn't change. Then the next thing was, well, with that type of game, you can't win. That's not winning. That's not winning basketball. You look at the numbers when it comes to league scoring championships and champions. Jordan has every single year he won, he was a scoring leader, and he has more than every other player that did that in the league's history combined. But man, people don't understand Jordan, and like you said, Kenny Smith said he used to tell him to his face in college, "You ain't got no handle. That's why I ain't worried about you playing point guard." But what did he do? He improved it. He worked on it. He didn't come in a finished product. He came in. He was still learning.
Yep.
He was adjusting. He was able to make adjustments. And again, like you said, Dean Smith is the only man to keep that man under 20 points. Dean Smith is the only man to keep that man under 20 points. But he did it on purpose. He's like, I'm not gonna let you get. I'm teaching everybody here to play basketball, not just you. You're not the only focus. And Michael understood that. You know what I'm saying? Look at how he behaved. He was never like, it's got to be me, my way. No. The only thing he said is, hey, I'm not going to ask you to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. I'm not going to ask you to put in more work than I'm going to. Matter of fact, you ain't going to put in more work than me. But I'm not going to ask you to do, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you by example. But the only thing I say is, you better get up on speed with me. If not, you got to get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when, like, what Gil was saying was true, but I mean, he's still kind of silly how he says stuff. But the thing that gets me about what Anthony Edwards says, and it's really Isaiah part of it, but it's also this generation of not just this generation. It's been going on for a while. People, they put more value in what you say than what you actually do. Mm. I mean, LeBron goes into Miami talking smack about, I'm going to win more than 6. I'm going to win 7. And you win 2, but then you still got people that are trusting this dude. And he just told you what he's going to do before he's going to do it, didn't do it. Now, no one else would have done that. And then you wouldn't come back talking about, the next one I got, which is number 3, made me the best player in the history of the game. Man, get out of here with that, man. I mean, the numbers don't support it. The actual accolades don't support it. You break it down to the level of competition that you're dealing with as far as the weakness of this league. Man, stop it. The actual number for viewership. What's the biggest viewed game in the NBA in NBA history?
The biggest what?
Game 6. 1998.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is the most viewed game ever, and now you want to and look at the finals. Who got the lowest viewed finals game? Go ahead, look at that list. No, seriously, straight up, look at that list and see how many times LeBron James pops up on that list.
Yeah,
for lowest viewed. When you look at the top 5 usage rates by percentage in NBA history, Michael Jordan has 4 of the top 5. 4 of the top 5. Meaning he was the most used and he got the best percentage of the game. His shooting percentages were sky high. 1993, 1991, 1998. I think it's 1992. Stop it.
Yeah.
No, it was 98 is the other one. But anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Facts.
It's not even close, man.
Yeah.
They need to stop this stuff.
All right, brother.
Hey, man, having a great show, and y'all hit that like button.
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right, out here.
All right, there was some more coming in. Word Breaker, you can still call in. Let's get a couple of more in here. Caller from California, what's good?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Kelly from SoCal.
What's going on, Kelly?
I don't really got much. I guess I'll just make it 2 simple questions. Are we in agreement that Wembanyama should have won DPOY over Gobert?
No. I would have to look at it again. I think I was talking about it during the season. I can't remember who I had up there. I don't know if it was Gilbert or Wembanyama, to be honest with you. It might have been someone else. I just can't remember who I had up there. But no, so I mean, if it wasn't going to be Gobert for me, it wasn't going to be Wembanyama either.
Ooh, interesting. But you don't remember your third pick?
No, it wasn't my third pick. It was my number 1 pick. It just wasn't neither one of those guys. I just can't remember who it was.
Mistake.
I had to go back and look at one of my graphics that I probably made for it.
I guess my case for Wembanyama winning DPOY would be, I'm pretty sure he had multiple 8-block games, and I think he also got 10 one game, and obviously he's blocking shots like there's no tomorrow, and he's only going to get better on versatility for guarding 1 through 5, but yeah, he's a monster, obviously, you know.
Yeah, so for me, the only award that I don't use winning in the formula is Rookie of the Year, right? Or maybe Most Improved Player. But for every other award, that's for big boys, right? Rookie of the Year, okay, yeah, you can win an award without your team winning. But you can't tell me you're the best defensive player in the league or the best anything in the league, and it's not leading to wins. So I'm going to go with, and I'm going to put a graphic on the screen. Let me move this phone number off of it. But these are
for sure.
This is not just for MVP. This is for every award except Rookie of the Year and Most Improved. So it's Defensive Player of the Year, MVP. Or what? Or if they ever create a offensive player of the year, whatever the case may be, defensive value, offensive value, team success. That's what I got for MVP. But if we're doing defensive player of the year award, your defensive value has to lead the team success, right? So it wouldn't be Wembanyama for me at all, 100%.
Yeah, you're obviously taking winning into account, which. Yeah, I'm not gonna blame you, but I also like to look at it as, you know, a defensive all-star, a purely defensive all-star. It doesn't translate to as many wins as a offensive all-star. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's, you know, in my opinion, that it's not exactly his fault that they're not getting wins, you know, because of his defense. But that's just me though.
Yeah, but if there's a candidate who's helping get wins for their team, he's going to be a better candidate than the guy that's not. And I can't say it's not your fault, so let's consider you. I just got a hard criteria, and there's no wiggle room for it. You know what I mean? winning has to be part of it. It's just no wiggle room. Like people are doing that with the WNBA now. Like, yeah, we know these other candidates teams are winning more than Caitlin, but she's a rookie. Let's take that into account. Okay, so what are we gonna do next year when she's not a rookie and she has the same exact season and the other candidates had the same exact season? I would say, well, but she's a second-year player, so let's move the goalposts and give her another one. You get what I'm saying? And then what's gonna happen when she's a vet and she's been in 10 years and here comes this other rookie that did the same thing? Are we gonna say, well, Caitlin, we can't give it to you as a vet because his rookie is a rookie, so we got to consider that? No. Hard stop. Is this leading to wins? If the answer is yes, okay. The other candidate, is it leading to wins? If the answer is yes, okay, well, who's getting the most wins? That's the better candidate.
Yeah, for sure. I also like to take into consideration it's like situations, right? So Gobert won it. He's obviously in a better situation. You replace Gobert with Wembanyama, or you replace Jackson Jr. or Brooke Lopez with Victor Wembanyama. I think we got to take, situation into consideration. Do we agree that situation matters, right?
Sure, situation matter, but it's not part of my criteria. Like part of my criteria isn't, hey, let's switch the players and then and let's imagine what would happen if we switch them. That's not part of my criteria. Team success.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you. Yeah. So whenever your next video is or in a comment, I'd like to see who your DPOY was for 2023-24 season. I'm just curious.
Okay. Yeah. I'll probably add it to another video.
Was it a wing, guard, or
it might have been a wing. It might have been SGA. It might have been it might have been Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I think it was Anthony Davis. I think it was.
That's a good pick, man. That's a good pick.
I think it was Anthony Davis for sure.
I don't think people realize how valuable AD is to that team because of that system they're running over there. That dude is so good. Top 10 players still, maybe top 15 at the very latest.
Yeah, super valuable, man. Really like him.
But anyways, last question. What flavor Pure Leaf tea were you drinking? Was it the sweet one?
Yeah, it was sweet. I need to see if they'll sponsor me, man, because it seems like I'm drinking sweet tea from Pure Leaf almost every day. They might as well go ahead and sponsor me.
For real, I like Pure Leaf too. You drink the unsweetened ones at all, or no?
I do not drink the unsweet ones, but I don't drink the extra sweet either. I don't even know why they made that. I tried the extra sweet one time, and I couldn't feel my tongue. That's how much sugar is in that thing.
Some pre-workout right there.
Man, that junk is horrible.
But anyways, yeah, the black tea, the unsweetened ones, man, they taste like black coffee. So if you're into that, I mean, I'm kind of into that, but that's just me.
All right, man, I tried out, big dog.
But anyways, I'm about to head out. Keep up the good work. Enjoy the show, and try to make these shows as often as I can.
All right, thanks, bro.
All right, have a good one later.
Oh man, Shay said I need to trade some of my graphics. You know what? I should. I'm gonna send them to ESPN and see if they'll use it. Shoosh, did the Mystics blow them out like that? Man, the Sky got blew out by the Mystics. That's a big blowout. Sheesh. All right, I got another phone call. Caller from New York. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Just a couple points. First, I want to say that sounded like Wemby to me that you're just talking to.
That was Wemby?
It sounds like him. I pulled up an interview. I'm like, you know what? That's pretty cool. But yeah, good show as always. A couple points. I'm not sure if you mentioned the year before Phil Jackson came, Jordan actually played I think 20-some games at point guard, and he nearly averaged a triple-double. They're comparing him to Magic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of LeBron James fans or younger NBA fans don't know that. And I think that's important to actually, for people to highlight and pay attention to. The other one was, even though, people will question his competition at the 2, which I think is also ridiculous. But if you take them away, you still had all these bigs, right?
Yeah.
And he would go right at them and really dominate, dunk on them. They couldn't stop him either. So trying to diminish his opponents, there's no point. The whole thing, I have to say I can't wait for LeBron to retire because it will change the whole discussion. I'm not sure how.
What you think go change when he retire?
Well, that's what I was about to say. I'm not sure how long his imprint in the game would last. Like, you have all these greats who aren't mentioned anymore. Like they're still present, but they're not discussed. I'm not sure how long lasting his legacy would, like this GOAT debate. They'll have to champion someone else. So if they're championing, let's say it's Ant-Man, they can't pull LeBron along as they are, because it's the comment the other week was LeBron is making Jordan relevant. I think it's the other way around.
Of course.
Right? So if LeBron isn't playing, and it might be far-fetched for me to say this, but maybe it's a hope. But if LeBron is no longer playing and they're now trying to push the next great player, they won't have room for LeBron in the discussion.
That's very.
Is that all you think?
No, so that's very true, because everything that LeBron's argument for what he feels like is the GOAT debate, all of his arguments are going to seem kind of weird once people like Luka start to do the same thing as far as numbers are concerned. Like Luka is going to average 28, 8, and 8 for a long time, as long as he want to play. Right? As long as he play that style of offense, right? And that's the argument that LeBron has, for his fans. Like, oh man, he's doing points, rebounds, and assists. And they feel like Kobe and Mike wasn't doing it. Right? So what are they going to say when Luka starts doing it, but doing it more than what LeBron did? That's going to be weird. And then what's really going to be weird if Kevin Durant never gets hurt again and he decides that he wants to play 24 years like LeBron did, and he ended up getting that scoring title that LeBron got. It's going to be interesting what they say then. All right. So then you know what's going to end up happening? All the greats are going to still be compared to Michael Jordan and his 6 rings and his 6-0.
Right.
It's going to all come back to MJ, because that standard is higher than what the standard that they built LeBron up on.
Right. No, I see one of your comments with, I think it was World Brick is talking about hating LeBron. It's not about hating LeBron. I guess for me, it's the disrespect to the legacy of the game. Right? I actually like LeBron. He just isn't the best.
No.
Right? So to diminish other players to make him seem greater is, if you're a fan of the game, you won't like to see that happen.
Of course.
Right? And that's all. I don't want to hold you up. I know you're trying to get off, but great show. And I like the integrity of the show. I no longer watch, I think I mentioned this last time, mainstream sports media like ESPN or whatever. They lost their integrity a couple of years ago, and it's good to have people like you, so keep doing what you do.
I appreciate that, big dog. Thanks for the call.
All right, man.
All right. I'm taking one more, then I'm gone. One more. It's been all good calls tonight, man. So I'll do one more. Florida man, what's up?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
We good. What's your thoughts?
I wanted to talk about this the Gills Arena.
Yeah.
With he was comparing Jordan to Kobe.
Yeah.
Or you were saying he was pretty much saying what Kobe doesn't know what the 84 to 93 Jordan looks like.
Right.
I'm so confused because there's so many different interpretations from that. But to me, I'm like, is he? Because he also even said this on the show. He said Kobe wasn't really athletic like that. Pretty much that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I hate when he say that.
And I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, what Kobe were you watching in 96 through 06, 07? You know what I'm saying? And with Gil, like, you came in 01, 02. So you was there in the league when you saw the young Kobe with the fro, dunking and doing all this. I'm confused with that. So what are your thoughts on that, man?
I don't get it either. Like, I can't think that he really mean that. It's just so what I think going on with Gilbert is he's learned about the game of content creation and social media and getting clicks. He learned that game so well. So he's always looking for a hot take, and he's always looking for a take that's going to push people buttons to get the most reaction. And when he find a good hot take that he can keep using, he'll keep going to the well about it. It's the kind of same thing what Stephen A. Smith was doing when he found out that Kyrie Irving line that he go when he talk about he don't want to play, blah 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 blah, all this stuff. When he found that little hot take, he went from podcast to podcast to podcast to ESPN show. He went so many different places saying that same Kyrie Irving thing. It was just good for TV for him, So it's like you ever heard a rapper who he got like 3 or 4 freestyles memorized, and he just go to different places, or a comedian. They got 3 or 4 good jokes he can go to, and you done heard him say it live, then you heard him say it on Comic View, then you heard him say it on Kings of Comedy. Like, they're recycling those jokes. That's what commentators do with their takes. When they find a good one, they just keep recycling it and keep recycling it. And this is one of his takes that he liked the best. That's all it is.
So pretty much this is for shock value and clickbait and all that type of thing.
Correct.
It's I don't know, man. I don't know what the media is coming down to. It's just there's no way that you can sit here and tell me. And Gil's older than me, right? Yeah. So I'm in my 30s. He's 40-some. So for you to say all these things about someone that was your peer, that was pretty much outlasted you, right? You came in after him. I mean, that outlasted you in the league. You saw with your own 2 eyes, and you came here throwing out false narratives. And the thing about all this is like the proof's in the pudding. You can go to YouTube right now. You can type in whatever you want. Kobe dunks, Kobe highlights, whatever. You can watch your own 2 eyes. I don't know unless you blind, I don't know what you're watching. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. But you're right, man. It's a game, and it's a clickbait game, and that's all. I mean, that's the science on it. It ain't no deeper than that. That's what it is, man. But appreciate the call, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
All right. Greg Anderson, I seen you call twice, man. Hurry up and call back. And Greg Anderson only. That's the last call I'm taking is Greg Anderson's. And it's because he's a member and one of my grassroots. Greg, what's up?
Hey man, what's going on, man? Look, I feel like the world got cheated, man. When your mic went out, man, you were just starting to cook on that Shannon Sharp.
Greg, I'm so mad because I was like, man, I was really about to cook on that thing, man, and I thought I was good. And yeah, whatever, it happened, man. Whatever the case may be.
Hey, look, check this out. I was looking at some, how they be making up all of these new stats, PER, win shares, and all of that stuff. So I was looking at a website the other day, and I was like, man, Mike could have, if they went strictly off of like this new school analytics, man, Mike could have won like 8 MVPs because it was like a 10-year stretch. He had like, when you start looking at analytics for like PER and win shares, he was winning them back in the 80s. Even when Magic and Bird was winning MVPs and championships and Detroit was knocking them out the air, he still, like, if you start looking at this like the pure analytics, man, he was smashing them in 89, 88, 89, 90, all the way up until almost till he retired.
That's true. I think I want to say I remember someone saying, and I don't put a lot of respect on PER and all those advanced analytics anyway. So I might be remembering this wrong, but I think I remember someone saying that like the top 10 highest PER seasons that exist, I think Michael Jordan had half of them.
Yeah, I can believe it, but you know, it just goes to show you that a lot of times these people, Gil know what he's doing. Gil is doing this because look, you reacting to it, somebody else reacting to it. It's like 8 other channels that's reacting to what Gil said.
Yeah, and you can't be mad at him because he feeding the streaks. He giving us content, and it ain't like when he ain't like other people that's like, you clip my soundbite and you using my stuff. I'm a file a copyright claim and stuff. Like, he ain't doing it because he understands what he's doing. He's feeding the streets, and he feeding the YouTube streets and the ESPN streets because they react to most of his stuff too.
That's what I'm saying. So he got it down to a science. So I can't take nothing what he says with a grain of salt. But because he switch up like every 2 weeks. One day he'll be talking about Mike ain't nothing. Then next thing he's talking about Kobe ain't like Mike. And then the next thing he's talking about Mike is the only one that did it the right way, went to a struggling franchise and lifted them to championship glory. It's like, dude, make up your mind, man. Make up your mind. But at the end of the day, great show. Enjoy your content. And I'm about to get out of here so you can get out of here. And you know what I think happened earlier with your audio today?
What?
You start whoever hacked Shannon Sharp account, man, they hacked your account too. Because you were starting to cook. All right, I'm out of here, bro.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for me, y'all. Gave y'all 300 hours. I mean, not 300. I gave y'all 3 hours almost, man. Hey, in the words of Donald Trump, man, they are eating the dogs and the cats. They're eating people's pets. All right, so y'all watch out for y'all dogs, and just know when you lay your head down at night, just know I gave you everything I had. All right, shout out to Shannon Sharp, man, and Michelle Beadle, allegedly. All right, see y'all on Friday.